team in which I lived in their city.
Your favorite team is the Tampa Bay.
No.
Right?
I am not a bandwagoner. I wish Tom Brady all the luck. But I'm a Patriots fan, and I accept that the next few years we're going to be like the fucking Cowboys. I get it. But, hey, we still have the greatest coach ever, and that's all that fucking matters. But, no, if I was a fan of the Ravens, obviously we live in Baltimore.
Will Belichick shows up in Tampa.
When Will Belichick shows up in Tampa, I'm jumping ship. I'm gonna be honest.
Your description of your new job just made it sound like that's what you do.
Sex is easy, bro. Sex is dumb easy. You just bend over and take.
COVID hasn't got you down yet?
I couldn't give a fuck about COVID. I drink.
It doesn't have you down yet? It doesn't give you anxiety? What?
Look, man.
What?
I'll tell you what, man. Like the second the second I don't have to, and when I say have to, I mean in order for me to get into an establishment, I have to wear a mask.
You have to wear everywhere you go.
As soon as I don't see those signs anymore, I'm ripping the fucking thing off.
Me too.
I'm
Me
sorry. Call it what it is. Comment whatever. Fuck you. You're an idiot. Like you're just a fucking idiot. You think you gotta? Especially like the people that wear them either when they're just walking outside in the fucking like nature, or they're in their own cars with their windows rolled up.
Right.
Or you gonna give yourself fucking coronavirus?
But don't you think that that's
you're an
something with them, like helping them cope with all this news that they're
I
seeing
don't
and all
care
this
what
stuff?
I don't care what they got to cope with. Get on a boat and go somewhere. Like go get to your.
But where are they going to go?
Their own little COVID.
Quarantine themselves away
their
from
own little
the population.
paranoid COVID.
So are you in
island.
the sense of like so? Do you not want to spread it, or are you just annoyed by the people who are taking it too
I'm not
seriously?
100% sure that there's even anything to spread. Just being honest.
You might get us kicked off YouTube talking like that.
So
I'm
going
gonna
to
post it though. I'm
going
to post it. I'm gonna post it though.
We probably will get kicked off because why? Why would we get kicked off? Because
they kick people off
because that's
talking-
not the narrative. Fuck off. I hate it. And then there's people, you're going to trigger my anxiety. You're going to trigger my trigger, bitch. Like,
Oh, Jimmy jumped on it. Jimmy jumped on it. Well, you know.
other than dealing with these, I'm sorry.
Have you had anyone?
Morons,
Have you had anybody like tell you to put your mask on when you're like walking up? Do you put your mask on in the car and then walk up, or do you like
I do it.
wait until you get there and then you put it on?
I do it as soon as I enter the fucking
Facility
like, the
where
facility.
where if
Well,
they
I
can
have
kick
to
you
do
out,
it.
I'm gonna where you have to do
Like
it.
I'll swing the door open. It's still hanging off one ear.
Right.
Because I'll put it on one ear and I'll swing the door open before I walk in. I'll put the fucking.
But where do you think?
on.
Where do you think there should be a line? Because
Because
obviously,
like, I'm not gonna challenge. I'm not gonna be that guy. That's like, I'm gonna test it and not wear it until somebody says something.
Right.
I'm not gonna be that guy.
But you're
right?
being-
I'll do it because I know that those are the rules, right?
Right.
I'll do it.
right. But you're at least being reasonable. You're meeting them in the middle with it. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's
yeah,
just-
I don't like it.
The
but
second Larry Hogan's fat ass comes out there and goes, you don't have to wear it anymore. Fuck, I'm burning it.
Right.
Like
right.
I have no reason to wear it.
Right. Right.
As soon as it's not required by law, because you're still gonna have those people that are gonna be like, "Well, no, I wouldn't. It's still not safe. You still gotta wear a mask." Eat my shit.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at on that. I don't know about you, but that's where I'm at. That's just my opinion.
I guess they're like, I'm gonna go around this fucking guy. So he starts going around me, hits my fucking mirror, and I'm like, well, you gonna stop? I had never been more wrong in my fucking life.
He didn't stop.
He was
He
like,
didn't stop.
it was almost as if he was like, fuck that nigga's mirror. And he just kept going. And I'm like,
Bob couldn't handle it.
I'm like, hold up. There's cars up there. He can't get through those cars. Again, I've never been more wrong in my fucking life. I was like, how these fucking cars get between all those cars? And I was like, you not gonna stop? Well, I'ma go, nigga. So I started chasing the motherfucker in my car, and like, I guess he realizes I'm fucking following him. And he's just like, he doesn't want to be caught. So he's fucking dipping through fucking streets. And I'm like, I'm following him. And I almost crashed at one point, hitting this really tight turn. But we get to Hanover Street.
Bob was seeing red.
Before the bridge. Yes,
He took your mirror and he kept going.
We're gonna get to that. But yes, I am blood is all I see. I want this person dead. Like, so we're driving, and I'm like, I can't fucking get his fucking tag or whatever. Like, I'm trying to take a picture of it. I'm trying to drive at like probably 80 miles an hour on a fucking 25 mile an hour street. So, so I'm like, I'm about to do some GTA shit. So his car's here on the right. I pull up to the left of it. I fucking tap his shit. I try to tap his shit. His back to like get it.
GTA.
I tried to do this shit, bro. No, I tried to do this shit, but I guess he was used to that GTA shit, and he stopped just before I hit him. So my shit was like skirt, and my shit hit the guardrail like boom, and my shit I was like fuck, and they just drove off, and I was like motherfucker. So I get out the car.
He beat him.
I get out the car and I'm like, ain't this some shit? And like I see like fluid and shit. I see my car crumpled into the guardrail. At this time I don't know what,
literally
but
crumpled.
I'm like, let me get the fuck out of the car because I see the fluid. Call the cops. Cops eventually show up. Didn't take them too long because the police station's right down the street. But yeah, we're going through all this shit. Hold on, we're gonna get to that shit. We're going through all this shit. And I'm like, I wasn't drinking. Of course I didn't tell him everything that just fucking happened.
Right.
I was like, yeah, somebody hit me. And whatever. I didn't tell him everything.
You were
Officer!
You were watching police do that on cops. Here's Bob Hollywood's going to attempt the pit maneuver.
He saw that shit on cops too. He was like, not today, nigga.
That guy was smart enough.
That's brilliant, man.
So we're sitting there talking to
All you
him.
had to do was hit your. I didn't know that.
Apparently.
I wouldn't have known
Apparently.
that. I would have tried to do the
Let me
same
see the
thing.
cops pulling the pit maneuver, bitch.
So now you know. He actually helped you out.
But while we're there, while I'm talking to the officer, this car comes up, like a different car, and like these people get out the car, and I'm at my car. The officer's at his car is like a few. I can't hear what they're saying necessarily, and then they get in their car and they leave, and the officer's like, "You sure you weren't drinking?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was working all night. Of course I wasn't drinking." And he's like, "Well, they just told me such and such," and I'm like, "I don't even know who the fuck they were. Like, nobody was here, so I'm assuming that was the niggas that pulled that reverse pit maneuver, hopped in a different car, and they were like, yeah, this nigga was wildin', like,
Or somebody that saw him.
Well, if
They saw
you
the
had seen the whole thing,
So
the
they-
officer probably would have said something completely different.
so
Like,
they-
oh, you want to be a cop, nigga? Well, you going to jail today.
I trust her. That's the biggest part. That's the biggest part of friendship. Trust.
It's like you say my balls were too big like the first year, but in the end, your pussy was too fat in the second year.
Oh my God!
Hold up.
Oh
Hold
my
up.
God!
Whilst I do not have a pussy, that sounds like a compliment. Like, who doesn't like a fat pussy? Like, I don't want it to be, oh, your pussy. If she would have said your pussy was too thin, I'd have been like, fuck, man, you fucking cutting deep. I will say it. Yes, she told the truth. It was probably 15 fucking minutes, but it's because she would give me a shot, and I'm thinking that she's taking a shot too. Right. And it was like maybe 3 shots later that she's like, I don't really want this shot. Why don't you have my shot too? That she poured, mind you. And I'm like, well, why is your shot is halfway and mine's full? And she's like, I just changed my mind on this one. So I take the shots, and I'm like, okay, it's 2 shots. I'm not gonna let them get wasted. But then she's like, do you want another one? And I think at that point, I was too far gone to be like, no, I don't want any more. Please, no more, sir. I was like, yeah, give me another shot. And she just kept giving them to me. So you talking about that first year you woke up in the field? That second year, I'm out in the fucking field. I don't even know how I got there. I do not remember leaving out that house.
I was there for you. I watched you. I took care of you, and you just was flopping around, and I couldn't hold you.
He was flopping around. I couldn't.
I did everything.
You're a
I
big
could.
boy, Bob.
No,
You're a
but
big boy.
No. Before you can say anything else, I'm done. I'm not gonna do this with you. No.
Oh, Dreamer, it's all right. Dreamer. Dreamer, though. Are you
Let her
serious?
leave. Let
Are
her
you
leave.
serious? Is she serious?
This pussy was too fat and juicy for her. Let her leave.
Damn.
All I'm saying is, I don't know if she...
Dreamer.
Fuck her. Let her leave.
No, that's ridiculous.
The other mic's up too. Here we go. We are back now. I don't know why I do this every time. We're not the most professional podcasting people around, but at least we're here, right? We made it. We made it to another day. How is everybody doing? I am Endgame Jordan.
This is
Who else we got over here?
You just type in HM and then keep typing M's in your Instagram until he pops up.
Who are you?
I'm fucking Bob Hollywood.
Bob Hollywood Presidential.
There's never been a question about who I am.
Your future president.
I wanted to be president so fucking bad.
We need you to be president. Here, let me fix that. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit and try not to mess anything up, just so that I can get you guys. There we
I don't know
go.
why I didn't try to figure this out.
There we
sure.
go. That's better.
But yeah, I'm Bob Hollywood. Bob the World.
We were
Hollywood.
all talking. We had a good time. What were y'all talking about just now? Y'all were trying to figure out life, huh?
Bro, I think we're always trying to figure out life. I want to clarify. Just put it out there that I'm sad.
Why?
I don't know.
You know,
I just feel a little down.
when you came in here, you were acting like you needed a hug, and then I saw your Facebook post 3 minutes later,
Yeah.
and he said he needed a hug.
He's fucking up, man. It bees that way, as
It
they
bees
say.
like that.
You know?
It bees like that
Like
sometimes.
sometimes you just, I don't know. It's not like the world is too much, or it's not like your girl or your kids or your parents are getting. It's just like sometimes you just feel this almost overwhelming sadness, the sorrow. You know, like not like depression. Like, I've dealt with depression probably all of my life, but definitely most of my life. It's just like sometimes you need a hug. You never just felt like you just needed a hug. I don't know. It's not like this.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're talking.
Well, he
Sometimes
asked me
you need
a
a hug.
question.
Right.
Like,
Overwhelming sense of sadness. Like
yeah.
Sometimes you feel you don't. Yeah. Sometimes. I mean, it's not like a hard case of depression, but there's like a depressed moment.
Right. Like Metallica rapped about creeping death. I'm rapping about creeping sadness. You know,
Right.
it's okay.
Right. When will the sadness end? There was that's like somebody's famous last words, and I think it was it might have been some type of gothic type writer, but his famous last words were when will the pain end?
Yeah, but you see, like, so that seems like it's
those are his
more-
last words, so obviously it wasn't too much longer.
Well,
Must not have been,
well,
right?
the funny thing about that, people they'll say shit like that, but they don't expect to die. Like the person that said that didn't commit suicide. They probably just didn't wake up the next day.
Right.
You know what I mean? They weren't
Right.
even sick. They
Yeah, well, because you wouldn't ask yourself that if you did. You said, like, when will the pain end?
Well,
Oh,
I'm just-
yeah. Boom.
I'm just saying that's just like some really.
Now. It can end right now.
I'll end
I
it
was
right
it's like
now,
some
buddy.
really deep shit. Like when will they're fucking drinking with their other fucking gothic writer
Right.
friend, and they're like, when will
Right.
the pain end? And then they go to sleep, and the next day they just don't fucking wake up. And the other writer's like, well, he was asking about it, you know, shit like that. Like not like I killed myself or I was sick. Just like that's like God said. That's one. I don't believe in God, but that's like one of those times God's like, I'm gonna answer this mango's prayer, and his pain ended. You know what I mean? Like that shit right there. That's the.
So certainly,
To be fair, hold on. To be fair, I can't articulate some shit tonight, but that was the right there. You know what I mean? On the fucking money,
Right.
as they would say.
Right.
What were you about to say, Jimmy?
I was going to say, surely this can't be what we're talking about.
Well, we're not talking about anything. You've been a part of Spinning Been Radio for what? Like
For
the
how
last
long now?
5-6 years.
I wonder if this makes it sound better.
You serious?
Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't.
we don't talk about things because we have a hey, we're going to talk about these topics. Possibly, let's all read the
Let's
link.
have like an idea.
But
right.
some of us don't read the link, so we don't typically come in with a game plan. We go out there. This is the fucking NBA Finals, Game 7 or Game 1, and we're just like, let's just play the best
I
fucking
don't not read
defense
it on
possible.
purpose.
Let's
I
play
just-
the best defense possible and try to score points so we can win.
I just hate Facebook. Like, I'm mainly on Instagram. That's where, like, I'm always, like, looking and surfing around or whatever
Right.
you call it. Like, I don't get on Facebook all that often. So, and when I get, like, notifications, like, I don't always look at them. I got, like, friend requests in there that are still sitting there I don't care about.
But I
I got-
think
Notifications that I haven't checked in, like, a week.
I think personally.
So it's not like
Notifications.
it's not like I see the shit in the group and be like, oh fuck this, I'm not.
Well,
It's
I
not
just feel
that.
like when it's your eighth boom coon, when it's the
It's your
circle
what?
here, eighth boom
Is
coon.
that some French? What is that? Bon call.
You're your woe, your Wody, your Monica, you know what I mean?
Monica.
I think when those pop-ups show up, priority.
Right.
That's not a pop-up.
Well, I know
Because
pop-up
I don't
for
have
me.
notifications on my phone
See-
for Facebook.
See, you don't bang with Facebook. Like for me, I posted something in the SPO discussion
Mm-hmm.
randomly. I just happened to see it and I posted, and then Ron posted something.
Because
And-
you got me. Once I saw that, I was like, "Oh, we got to get some."
Yeah,
topics.
and when
We
he
gotta get
posted it,
some
I
topics."
saw what he posted. I don't know if he saw it
Yeah.
immediately,
yeah.
but it's clearly.
When I
I
get
don't have
on,
notifications.
so
on
I don't
my phone.
have notifications for anything other than phone calls.
See, I
so
have
my
mine for text messages.
yeah, my phone calls always come through. Everything else is shut off. So whenever I have to go to check it, but I do check it periodically because I'm always posting. I'm posting way more than I ever have now, just because I want to promote this stuff. Honestly, that's why I do the stories. I want to try to promote all the stuff.
I
that we're doing.
have notifications for everything, and this phone is a little bit better than my previous phone, which is the same phone. Just that this is a new model. It does have like silent notifications,
Right.
where I didn't personally set it, but I guess the phone figures it's not as important.
Right.
Like it'll be a visual notification if I pull it down and look at them,
Mhm.
but it never makes a noise.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
I get my notification for text, Facebook, eBay, PayPal, the things that I guess it knows are important.
Right.
And
Right. That makes
in
sense.
general, I'm a little bit connected. I'm not,
And it learns your habits.
you know what I mean? Like, and that's cool. Like,
But you're not like going crazy trying to check everything and be on top of it. You don't need that dopamine rush too much.
nah, if I'm bored in the house, I just fucking watch Netflix or some other streaming service.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I do scroll Facebook. I'm not opposed to looking at Facebook, but
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
not that important.
Right.
If that
Right.
makes sense.
That's the thing, because I'll go for a while. I'll just delete them off my phone, just
What, the
because
apps
I try
or-
to the apps because I'm hardcore with it. Because I'll just be checking them and then I'll make a post and I have to check it and then I'll catch myself checking it and I'll be like, this is unnecessary. I could check this in 4 hours.
I
Delete.
want to
gone.
say, so I'm not going to delete the app just because I don't feel like re-downloading it, but I do have a certain discipline that if I'm busy or if it's not necessary, I can fucking look at it later.
Mhm.
Like, but you mentioned the apps and it made me think about YouTube, and it made me think about how you watch YouTube
Mhm.
with the 2x speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've done it before, but I've done it when I was watching my videos, when I used to post videos, and I wanted that view, I wanted to support myself.
Right.
But now I'll do it just because I can hear it, I can follow it. So it's fun, and I'm a little bit disappointed when I can't do that for other shit.
Right.
Like if I'm watching fucking, I watched the new episode of Power on my phone. You can't
speed
watch
those
it at
up.
2x the speed. Like if I'm watching Netflix on my PlayStation,
Mhm.
you can't speed it up.
Right.
And it's annoying because like you really can save a lot of your time if you're a person that does YouTube or anything. If the things were at 2x the speed or whatever, you can hear.
Well,
it
you
more
can
clearly.
condition yourself.
Well,
You
I'm saying
can
like
speed
if it's
up.
not 2x, if it's just 1.2 or 1.3, you still save a lot of time
You
in your
do.
day.
Yeah.
And another thing you do, which I haven't gotten on board, I haven't even figured out how to set up. That might be an iPhone thing, but you also limit how much you can use YouTube.
Yeah.
And-
I have a limit on it.
And if I did that, they would constantly be saying you've reached your limit. And I know you can override it,
Right.
But
Right.
I think that's fucking brilliant.
And I override it more more often than not.
But the
It's
fact
just a
that
good
you-
reminder, you know.
Yeah, I'm about to say the fact that you sit there and think about, I don't want my whole day to consist of this
having
one
these-
thing, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be YouTube in your scenario, but in
Mhm.
Ron's scenario, it's YouTube. And he says, I got more important shit to do in my day. I wish I had that discipline. I lack that discipline. Because
Right.
I will watch YouTube until fucking YouTube don't have shit left for me to watch. I love YouTube.
You just go through it. Yeah, it's addicting. It's very
It is.
addicting. That's why I
Well,
put the limit on
And I
it.
think it's also just part of like the fact that you say, I don't know about you, but I'm just saying the fact that the person says, I'm gonna watch a screen, whether it's YouTube, Netflix,
Right.
Facebook, whatever. I'm only gonna watch a screen for say 3 hours a day. It's
Mhm.
24 hours a day. Ideally you sleep 8 hours, ideally you work 8 hours. So that
Mhm.
means there's 8 hours for you to do what you want If you just say 3 hours, I'm gonna do what I want and it involves a screen, and the other 5 hours, I'm away from that. That gives you so much time
That does.
and opportunity to be productive,
Right.
to do what you want to do, what you feel like is necessary for you to really live your life. Because, like, I grew up relatively poor, and our entertainment was the television screen.
Right.
And
Right.
so you carry that into adulthood, and you just sit
It's just a
in
habit.
front of a television.
Yep.
And most of us, if we're sitting in front of the television, we have a snack or we're eating our dinner. That's just exacerbating the condition. So if you can say, I'm only going to watch the television or screen for X amount of hours and I'm going to limit that to my children or whatever, you get, it's such an advantage.
Right. It's
Like
a big
I said,
advantage.
I haven't gotten there yet, but the fact that YouTube allows you to limit it, and of course you can override it. Like I said, it showed that when I first saw you, we were watching a video that you had recorded
Mhm.
and you were showing us, and it was like, you've reached your YouTube limitation. It would fucking suck if it didn't let
It
you
really
override it. But at the same time, you at least know you wouldn't be on YouTube. But
You know what's even better is when you're slowing it down to half speed.
Yeah, I was about to say
was gonna-
yeah,
That's
you
so
I was
weird.
gonna, there.
put it in my
meter, and then when you're done with that, let Kid Cornette know I've actually had sex. Please, just
It's-
this is weird. Pause it or hang on.
Thank you very much. Honey, can we film?
That voice right there reminds me of a mix between Mick Foley and Kevin James. Bro. I
Yeah.
don't fucking know.
exactly.
Only in the Star Wars. I mean, we're all fans of Star Wars, right? The people that are
So we got a
really
few
into
comments. Leonard said, play some Nipsey. Leonard, I wish that we could, but copyrights, you know. And then Kylo T91 said, fall into the YouTube black hole, and that is what we're trying to avoid falling into it.
We want to avoid it, but we want you guys to turn on one video and then be like, huh, wow, it's 7 hours later and I've listened to 3 episodes
Right.
of the newer
Right.
shit.
Of the newer shit. Right.
Some of the older shit was longer, and then some of it was like 30 minutes, but
Right,
still,
right.
like, it's still quality
It's
content.
still good though. It's still good because I can go back and listen to it, and I'll put it on my headphones and just listen to it as a normal podcast and just go throughout my
The
day.
thing I like about it, our older stuff, and we were talking physically about how Jimmy's changed, and we constantly talk about how Jimmy's changed, because Jimmy has become a fucking beefcake stud muffin motherfucker.
Jimmy wanted to change his life, so he came to the shred shed and changed his life.
But we would, if you watch our older videos from 2015, 16, Jimmy's physically different. But also, we've matured in
Mhm.
4 years. We're not like, it's not the maturity you would get from 18 to 25, but it's still,
It's a
you've
different
changed.
level of maturity.
Like, the world has changed for starters, which is crazy.
Right.
But
Right.
we've also changed. We said things back then that wouldn't fly then or now, and I don't know, some of the opinions are still the same, but just the fact that we were young. We were in our fucking 20s.
Right.
Like, I'm
Right.
not making it seem like we're in our 60s.
No,
or
right,
anything, but
right.
we were young-ish.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Still going off on it. Still
Yeah.
going off on it.
Still, I mean,
That was the way to go, you know?
And now I feel like we've hit that stride where we've got the combination of people. It's 4 of us.
Mhm.
It's not always all 4 of us, but
But we make it work.
and it's consistent. So that's 2. People, the consistency, the technology.
Yeah.
Like, I will
Big
say,
time.
this dude Ron here, to do this, to go to work, and to still come here and devote his free time to, how can I make this look good? How can I make this sound good? You gotta give this man props.
Dude,
Like,
sometimes I don't know why I do this to because we literally just got done with a badass squat workout, and I was pulling up, and I'm sorry that we were late. That's like a common theme with us now. We say we're going to be on at 9, we're not on till 10, but it's all in good faith, you know.
Before you even go that far, let me just say, I didn't even know we were recording today. You text me
Yeah.
and you were like 7, and I was
He
like,
forgot.
I guess I'm gonna be here at 7.
He forgot. He really forgot.
Because we were working out, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm recording with Bob tonight at 7." I was like, "Are you?" Because I was like, I asked him if he wanted to work with me tonight, and he said, "Yeah," or he said if he did, let's work in the city. And He was like, I just told him 7 o'clock. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Well,
was like,
I
maybe
looked
he
back
didn't-
on it and I saw, and I was
Yeah.
like, but that was after I made the connection. But
I was
I didn't know about
expecting-
that.
I was expecting me tomorrow, Wednesday, and Rick Thursday.
Rick Thursday, right?
So, yeah, but I wasn't doing shit.
But if we're open Tuesday, we got to do Tuesday too.
No, we
You
talked
know?
about this off
We
camera.
have to, yeah.
every week.
And talk about, yeah.
Motherfuckers want to be here for you every day. Like we want
We do,
a chunk of your entertainment to be spitting Venom Radio.
right?
The 3 of us, the 4 of us, different combinations. If I can't be here, we want you to turn onto your Facebook, your YouTube, your Instagram, and find a combination of our faces. And that's how you do it. That's how you fucking
Right.
win.
Right.
So I didn't know that we were recording that until you said something. But I'll let you
I should have said something a
continue.
little bit sooner than.
No, I mean, it's not like
I'm glad that we made it. We're here though, and we're rolling. That's what's beautiful about it.
always we have people that want to see our faces.
Exactly, our beautiful, gorgeous faces. And we came in needing some hugs, and now we're kind of rolling a little bit, and we're feeling good. Did you have a good day, Jimbo? You were good with everything too. I know you had a little bit of car issues. How's that coming for you? Is that kind of an annoyance?
Yeah, of course. It's a lot of
Somebody
it.
was
It's,
told you today that like, hey, you looks like your car's on fire.
Oh no! The thing
your
is,
car on fire, man?
I thought the guy was trying to like talk shit or something because he also drives an SI. So I was
What's
like,
an SI?
my Civic, my car. It's like the
Oh, it's
sport-
he
it's-
drives your car.
It's the sports version, but he had the same car.
Oh.
So,
So you thought he was talking a little bit of shit. Then.
yeah, because he was behind me at one light, and it was one of those stupid ass lights where it's like one light here and then fucking 10 feet there's another light.
Right.
So, he was behind me at that light, and then I went and I saw smoke come out of the back, but I thought it was his car.
Right.
I didn't think it was mine. So then we get up to the next light, and he pulls around the side of me, and I'm listening to shit, and I'm not paying attention. I hear somebody, and I look over, and he's looking at me. So I pause the music. I was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "Seems like your car is starting to burn oil." And I was like, "Is that what that smoke was? That was me?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." And I'm like, "Fuck." And I was like, "All right, dude, thank you." He's like, "Yeah, man, sorry about that." And then he turned right, and then I went straight. So then I immediately got on the phone with my dealership.
But was that like
service
right
thing.
before you got up with us?
That was right before I came. That's why I was
Before
on
you
the
came to the
phone.
Red Shed, of course.
Yeah, before I came to work out. That's why I was on the phone when you came up to me.
Yeah.
So I was getting an appointment scheduled for tomorrow. So yeah, it's just shit. I don't know what's going on. It's not smoking now. That's the only time it smoked. It didn't smoke when I left. It didn't smoke on the way here. It didn't smoke. So I don't know what's going on. But other than that, yeah, I mean, we worked out. Now we're here. There was a point I was going to make about how my day was. Oh no, never mind. That was a new point. My day was really good yesterday because I found out Bob scared Godzilla. So that was a good day yesterday.
Did you post that Godzilla's now an American citizen or a Japanese citizen? You did.
No, I was gonna say
You didn't see the thing that he posted?
I haven't seen a post from Jimmy in a long time.
Well, I always do stories. I don't really do
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
story. Yeah, it was a story. It was a pretty good story though.
No, I mean I would
I
think
don't
he
give
was
status
always.
of
Godzilla looked very happy about
He was
it.
very
and I
happy
don't know where
that
to
he
find
is
the
now
picture, but-
Japanese. I got it.
Really?
He's a Japanese citizen, so there's a little bit of positivity in this world of chaos.
I mean, what are they going to stop him from entering? They're going to ask him for his fucking passport?
Nah, he's in the city. He's in the city.
He's not going to pay taxes, so it don't
No,
matter.
right. He
no,
ain't gonna
I'm,
pay taxes. He ain't gonna pay taxes
My
though.
man's happy as shit.
That's awesome, but no,
Show,
I am.
Do you want me to send it to you?
I could have, but we're just gonna do that and see if it works at all.
I am
I
terrified
get a
of
better
that.
shot of that.
Hey.
Don't click off that picture.
There you go.
Whatever you do.
And as I was explaining to Jimmy, it's an
Godzilla looks so
unreasonable.
happy. There we go.
It's either
This is a small part.
it's either an unreasonable reasonable fear or it's a reasonable unreasonable fear.
Yeah.
Meaning,
Yeah.
I know that Godzilla doesn't exist.
Right.
But when I see
Are
large
you sure,
bodies
Rob?
of water, all I can think of is Godzilla emerging from that water. And it doesn't have to be Godzilla.
Right.
It could be a kraken. It could be it could be the Loch Ness monster. It could be any large thing that's unfathomable. And it's just like, if it were to come out of that water, you're powerless as a person, as one man. Like maybe the government and their tanks.
That's
and-
also like saying, what if Darth Vader broke into my house and fucking killed
But see,
me?
Darth Vader, that's one thing. He's one person.
That's not right. Right.
But listen,
Right.
have you ever just jokingly said, "Oh, what if you saw the fucking Death Star on the horizon?" you would shit your pants.
I've never joked about
But okay, that answers my question. But the fact that you just see a gigantic spear in the sky,
Right.
that's man-made, you would be like,
I'd freak out a little bit.
like this is.
that. If it was like an alien space.
How many rednecks do you think would be shooting their shotguns at it?
God damn it,
Godzilla
boys, what we
would
trained for?
Both. Probably both.
Well,
Because I'm sure that people would be like, I got him.
I want to say the Death Star would be 100% future. 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like it wouldn't be close enough, and even if it was, it wouldn't be
It
dead.
ain't gonna work.
Godzilla, and I feel like the folks operating the Death Star would be like, we don't care. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It's
That's-
inconsequential.
right.
But I feel like Godzilla, there's that chance that while he has probably thick enough skin to not feel it, what if he did just feel like a mosquito bite? He's
he
like,
just turned around.
you know what? Laser breath. And like all those fucking rednecks are done. You know what I mean? But like,
And then they're running, screaming.
like people
What
be-
are they screaming?
But you know
when they
what's
run?
beautiful about what you're talking about, Bob? Even to this day, and now we're going to get into a little bit more of a weird area that might freak you out a little bit, because I know that you kind of get into that type of stuff. You're not a conspiracy type of guy, but when it comes to zoological type things like Bigfoot, or these things that may, because you know,
cryptozoological.
what's cryptozoological?
They don't exist, or they've yet to be proven.
But there's like theories.
Right, and the thing is, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yep.
But there have been creatures that have been believed to be cryptozoological creatures that have been found to be discovered. Nothing like a Bigfoot or a Yeti, shit like that, but just creatures we didn't know existed.
Right.
And we thought, oh, this fucking tribesman was just making it up, or this person that lives on a mountain was making it up. But
Right.
they actually did exist. We just didn't know until later.
Right.
But I'll let you finish.
So we're going to head on into one of the subjects that we were talking about earlier, since we already kind of got onto the subject. September 8th, 2020, there is new information on, let me get this baby popped up for you so that we can, boom, tourists see the 7th Loch Ness monster sighting so far in 2020.
2020.
7.
Can I just say, y'all niggas shouldn't be at the lab? Y'all should be at home, quarantining?
So, Mr. Van Schmegerback, I can't read names. I can't read names.
We'll call that.
Leave me alone, Jimmy.
We'll call that Van Schmegerman.
Thank you.
Smack
You can
That's
laugh,
what
it's
you
okay.
said.
So
If
his
it's
name-
funny, you know. But he's
Smack-
making fun of me, so it hurts my feelings. Damn, Mr. Van
Schmegerman.
had no idea he had captured images for the elusive creature until he looked back at his Scottish holiday photos and spotted a mysterious, dark object. I'm going to zoom in on that. And does that look like Nessie, Bob? Do you think that looks like Nessie?
Yeah.
Bob's like, yeah,
black,
that's...
blurry thing. in the
So
middle
a
of it.
dark object can be seen in the center of the shot, and I know we all see it. And now we're going to go a little bit, and the tourist claims he spotted the Loch Ness Monster on his break while his family... Oh my God, these commercials are just ridiculous. Mr. Van...
Schmorgebomb.
That's not even close.
I'm not reading it. Somebody gets the credit.
Mr. Van Smorgasbord has now clocked up the official 7th sighting of the mysterious creature. Does that count, though? Because it doesn't necessarily look like it.
I mean, let's put it this way. No one's out there on the boat, and this is them on the boat. I don't know if the camera can see this. This is the boat, and this is them. And then this is the outside of the boat, and then Nessie's like, hey, y'all. How y'all doing? So no one's
just
got
pops up.
proof. Like, you know what I mean?
Hello.
I can't discredit him.
There's not a prehistoric fucking creature inside in a fucking body of water just waiting to fucking come up. Like,
And scientifically, we know that because how would it have? You just said it's
This long.
prehistoric.
This
So
long.
that means it's been around for millions of years. And if it's just one, how the fuck is it still here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
What if
nothing
it's
is
not
immortal.
prehistoric, though?
Well,
What
it
if it
looks
is-
like a dinosaur. Well,
Right.
Clarify.
It does look. Right.
This is nerd to me. Dinosaurs aren't in the water. Dinosaurs don't fly. Dinosaurs are land fucking creatures. But you know what I mean. It doesn't look like this dinosaur.
so a
that
pterodactyl's
floats.
not a dinosaur?
No, sir.
Why? How?
Because it's a fucking
So what is it?
pterosaur.
A pterosaur.
Yes.
But my
Oh,
question is,
yeah.
with
Like,
as
that's
good
just science. It's not me.
But with science, but how good science is these days, why do we still have grainy ass photos? Look how grainy that shit is.
With the science we have,
Because my phone's badass,
And
but I
you're
guess they don't
begging
have
me-
that in Ireland or
you're
Scotland.
begging me to be political. With the
No,
science
no,
we have, why is there cancer? Huh? There's
Is that political?
Well, I'm saying that the United States government and Big Pharma, there's a cure for cancer, AIDS, Ebola, fucking Corona, and they don't want us to have it because there's more money.
Bob, you're going to get us kicked off if you
Back
talk
to
like
the
that.
Loch Ness
We're
Monster.
supposed to tell jokes,
Loch
Bob.
I'm
Ness
sorry if I'm
Monster.
Be
woke.
funny.
I'm sorry if I'm awake. Okay,
no.
I'm awake.
No.
It's also first
I want to
accepted.
clarify, and this is going to lose
You
me
clarify,
points in
bro.
my community, the community of these people. I hate the term woke. You're awake, nigga. You're not woke. You are awake. Wake up. You don't woke up.
You
woke up.
woke up.
Woke up sounds like you're fucking Hulk Hogan and you're about to win the match and you're woken up. You're like, oh. You're like, oh.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Going back to this. You're saying why, with all this technology, we have grainy photos?
Yep. Why are these photos still so grainy?
Well, to be fair, my
Let me go back
phone
up to
is
it.
supposed to be able to get images of meteors and stars. It's supposed to have this super zoom. When I use it in my house and I'm looking 10 feet away, if I zoom all the way in or get zoomed close enough, it still looks like crap.
Right.
So maybe these are genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever he thought he took a picture of, if it's a real picture, he clearly thought he was taking a picture of something. But there is a such thing as fucking optical illusion.
But is Nessie just chilling by themselves, just lonely, and like they don't have a tribe? They don't have like a.
That's my thing about why
They're
it
just
probably
there?
wouldn't exist, because how is it breeding? How is it still?
It's just
this
there.
one
It's
animal
this one
still
Nessie.
around. You know what I mean? Like, now if it could just, maybe dinosaurs didn't die like that. Maybe the Tyrannosaurus Rex only died when another Tyrannosaurus Rex whipped his ass or something. Maybe they just were
And they just didn't live.
relatively
They could
immortal.
live for
You know what I mean?
generally
So what
forever.
if this was just like that? If that's the case,
That's true.
I still think it would surface more often, or there will be evidence, whether it crashed into a hull of a ship and the people like, how did this happen? Like, this could only be done by something that's bigger and not like a rock, or, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
I almost feel like you have me arguing against my belief, because I want to believe that Nessie is real, and that was the benefit.
I want to believe that Nessie is real too.
Of debate camp. I can argue both sides of the argument, but I want to believe that Nessie's real. I want to believe that Bigfoot's real. I want to believe that Chupacabra's real.
We have a few more comments. Kylo T91 over on YouTube said, "Every time on a bridge, I picture something rising up to destroy everything."
See?
And then he said, the chupacabra turned out to be a dog. And you know what? I bet it turned out to be a dog with really bad mange. People have said that too.
But see, that's
Some
the
dogs
thing. Like, if you
with
look
mange
back at,
have
like,
that.
I want to say there's always an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
If you see something that's shouldn't exist or can't exist, there's always an explanation. But how do we know?
We don't
That's
know.
not
We
the
don't know
government
for sure,
saying
though. That's the
These things
complicated
are
thing,
real,
you know?
but we can't let the people know. So we come up, like the UFOs from Roswell, the weather balloons.
Mhm.
What the fuck is a weather balloon? Like, I'm pretty sure that's pretty
It's
self-explanatory.
definly a weather.
I'll look up
balloon.
a.
It's very, yeah, it's a big ass weather balloon.
Well, hold on.
They-
Just
they
keep this
send it
subject.
up.
I'll get a weather balloon.
Well, I was
up
gonna
for
say,
you.
I do think that was a dumb question. I know it's a fucking balloon for the weather. That wasn't like
And then-
magic. But you knew what I meant.
But I
like,
want to just get an image up now.
But like, why are we confusing all this shit? Why do
Because
so
back-
many people want to believe? Does that make sense?
I just think it's fun to believe in it. Is what I think. I think it's just a fun little. People like that mystery shit. You know, people like to think that like
It's sexy.
there's
It's
more
not
out there,
sexy,
and it
but
gives
it's
them
like
something to do. It gives them something to research.
I want to say
something
that this episode of Spitterman Radio, episode 54, is brought to you by Carmex, because this cherry flavor actually tastes and smells like cherry, and my lips are moist.
Bob. You're not supposed to plug anybody until we get a sponsor. Bob.
I'm also drunk.
God, that's the excuse. So here's a weather balloon, just because of the conversation we had going on,
So it
and
looks like a moon in that picture.
right. And so I think this article tells you what they do. Welcome to the full inventory of meteorological balloons for sale. Each of our high quality balloons, come on, you know. are inflated, inspected, and tested before dusted and sealed, moisture-proof, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever they do, they just go up into the air. And
I want
I'm
to
sure
clarify
they
that I
feel
never
stuff.
knew what it actually looked like. Because when I think of weather
I never
balloon,
looked it up. Yeah.
when I think of weather balloon, I think of hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Like, that's
yeah.
the visual, but just for weather.
I wonder
It
how
doesn't
big
make
these
sense.
are. They
They're
look
pretty
pretty
big.
big.
It's
yeah.
got to be big. If
Oh
you
yeah,
can see
look,
it
there's
from the
a
ground.
person.
But they're also
I can't
different
see that.
sizes.
But I think that's pretty cool. But I want to believe that these things exist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, me too. That's the thing. I wish that Bigfoot existed.
well,
And I don't
according
think that
to-
Bigfoot doesn't exist, but yeah.
According on the Facebook feed, according to Jenny Lee Eichenberg, Bigfoot is real. And
But where? But where?
Well,
I don't mean to yell,
I
but
want to say like
where?
the Pacific Northwest. So,
I know.
so
I
you
just
grew up in
wish.
Florida.
I just wish.
You didn't have them.
Right.
And this isn't the Pacific Northwest.
Weird news.
This is the Mid-Atlantic
I
Southeast.
think I accidentally lost the. I think I accidentally lost the. feed
Maryland's
for,
the South.
that's-
I will
we're in
kill
the Northeast.
everybody in this room. I will kill everybody who disagrees.
These Marylanders love saying that they're in the South.
It's not even. It's a split demographic. Some of them like, oh, we're in the North. Yeah, we're in the
But
South.
we're considered
We're not.
Northeast.
We're not. Fuck you, bro. You want to fight next week? Pay-per-view, $2 You're gonna see me and Sindri fighting to the death. Whoever
Worth it.
wins,
Worth
if
it.
I win, Maryland is the South.
If
Jimmy wins,
me fighting
Maryland is
my
the
life
North.
is worth $2.
We're gonna move the Mason-Dixon line, baby.
About $2 per person.
Right, but
So
it's,
we get
it's-
100 people.
no.
We just made $200. Either me and Ron or you and Ron.
Yeah.
There's one of us.
Yeah,
The losers.
but that means one person is going to pay $2 to see
That's
that. That
that's
means
literally a
what it's worth.
win-win for me.
Come on, bro. We haven't gotten our name up there yet. We can't charge $20.
Not yet, anyway. And Jennifer Lee said he lives in the Appalachian Mountains. Oh God, I wish that's so close.
That's so close.
That's
I mean,
up
it's
the
a
road,
big
man.
range, but
It
it's
is.
still
It is a
here.
big range.
I mean, it's a thing.
It's up and down, but it'd be worth it. It'd be worth it to go check out. Let's go Bigfoot hunting.
But what would we do
Like,
if
you
we
want to go
found
ghost
Bigfoot?
hunting? I want to go Bigfoot hunting.
I want to do both.
I don't know what
See,
I'll do.
time
Just
out.
take a picture and run.
To be fair,
I'd take a picture and
when
run.
it comes to ghost hunting, it freaks me out because I do believe in
Is that why you
spirits.
left the other night?
Yes, but I do believe in spirits, and so I believe less so in Bigfoot.
I
So,
don't believe in Bigfoot.
Obviously,
Someone else
Bigfoot.
does.
Nah,
Listen, hold on. If he exists, I don't think he's eating meat, so he wouldn't want to eat us unless he felt we were encroaching on his territory.
Right.
So we wouldn't necessarily be threatened by it, but we don't know if we encroached on his territory. What if we just stumble across one tree that he fucking loves to scratch his back on, and we're just like, oh man, that tree has fucking 4 post fucking leaves or whatever. We're taking pictures and Bigfoot's like, that's my fucking tree, close line from hell. Like, you know what I mean? But I believe more so in ghosts, and that freaks me out than I believe in Bigfoot, and I want Bigfoot to be real. I'm not saying he doesn't exist. I'm just saying I almost think it's high time we'd have more evidence.
Right.
And I'm thinking maybe we do, but the government's hiding it. But you
So then
never
what
know.
about aliens on Earth? Do you believe that? Do you think like Area
Roswell?
51's hiding
All right, so
aliens?
let's go to aliens. For the longest time, aliens freaked me out. Like the thought of just a vast
Universe.
infinity freaked me out. More so than
Anything
ocean.
could be
That's why the ocean freaks me out too, because it's just like we don't know. It's the
Godzilla.
unknown.
Right.
But I did not believe in aliens for a long time. I just thought they're dumb. We're here. We're supposed to be here. We're the only ones. And then Rick had said to me, like, why are we the only ones? Why do we get to be the
I mean,
only
we're definitely
ones?
not the only ones out there in space.
But-
I mean, but I'm talking about aliens on this planet.
But in the whole, let me just, can I get there? Let me
That's
build
what I
up.
was talking.
Let me build up. When you watch a fucking Stephen King movie, he doesn't just have the fucking Jack Torrance
Well, I
cracking
don't
into the fucking
I don't want there
bathroom.
to be no confusion. I'm not arguing that we're the only life form out there in space. Like,
But
obviously,
I'm putting it from my perspective. I'm saying I was completely non-believing, completely, I don't want to say ignorant because I feel like we don't know. So we're all ignorant. But I was completely non-believing. Now I want to say that, yes, somewhere there are aliens. And if I believe that there's somewhere there's a planet with aliens, even if it's billions of light years that a human being will never see, I want to say they had the technology to have come here. Whether it was 100 years ago, 3 million years ago, yesterday, I want to say there are aliens on this planet that pose themselves as either other humans or some other animal.
But how do
that
we
we
know
don't
they
know.
have that technology? Though? What if they're way far behind? What if they don't even have the same? Because you can't look at it like us. Like it could be maybe they don't have any of these advancements that we had, like our species of humans have had on this planet. There could be a planet somewhere out there where there's life form on it, but not this type of life form, where they are not physically capable of building stuff. And how do we even know that they would build stuff? Like they're totally different things, like beings. Like we always like to have this thing in our heads that there is some way like humanoids, like they got arms and legs and eyeballs and fingers and shit like that, and they're so advanced and they built rocket ships and they're doing stuff like that. How do we know they did any of that? Like we assume that that's what we would do if we had those advancements.
Right.
Well,
Based off
well,
what we
well,
would do.
It could be a totally different matter or totally different stuff.
Well,
We don't even know.
That's
I
what
was
we-
about to answer those questions real quick. Keep the conversation on the aliens, but I just want to go to the comments before we get lost too far in the shuffle. So Stephanie Cook said about Bigfoot, he's in Tennessee too. Lori said y'all should go ghost hunting, and we did go ghost hunting. We have footage of ghost hunting of did you go as well, or was it
Me and
Jimmy?
Rick went.
It wasn't. I went.
It was the shits.
I backed up, and I said,
And then Rick wanted to film.
but that's something we are interested in,
Yeah,
and we will get you better quality.
we'll get better quality, but we did do that. So she said, Jimmy, thank goodness your lighting is better.
Thank you.
And they are
Lighting is
currently
key.
inhabiting the White House. I
that
love
the
that.
alien?
That's probably Jennifer Eckenberg is right. They are currently inhabiting.
I feel like that's disrespectful to the aliens. I don't think that they would be so inept that they were that fucking bad.
And then on over to the YouTube comments. Florida is the swamp ape. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
Florida.
I was
having
gonna
a
say,
swamp ape.
hers
I feel like I'm part
I was
swamp
gonna say, I've
ape.
heard
ape is
skunk
so-
ape before.
Skunk, yeah.
It's I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing.
George Shaney Brooks said Ron could wrestle Bigfoot.
We
I
could
would.
charge $2
I would
for
have
that.
to. I would.
Charge $2 a person.
$250, man. Come on.
See,
I might get
but
my
you-
ass kicked by Bigfoot, bro.
Ideally,
I might as well be fucking fighting Bigfoot. Look at him. Jesus.
you're a big strong fella, bro.
And then Alpha Draconians are the enemy of the world. Kylo T91.
But To go back to,
the
I do
aliens.
think it is something about the hubris of man to say, oh, the alien would look somewhat like us.
Like
meaning
us,
They would
right,
have
right.
a head, two
Yeah,
arms, a leg.
legs.
Right.
But I'm just saying, as a person who never believed in it, more so as when I was younger, I thought God was just a big face that looked down from space. You know what I mean?
Kind of looked over you or
Right.
watched over
And you
you.
couldn't see it, but that's if you could get far enough in space, you could see it.
Mhm.
But so maybe aliens exist,
But
in
it's
whatever
just-
form. But I would say they are assimilating either as humans or as polar bears.
You're
which is
imagining that
which
in
is
your
a
mind,
poor
though.
choice because obviously we were fucking polar cats up. Or maybe it's just fucking slugs.
But that's
or
something that
flies
you
or-
think in your mind that you're developing. There's
Well, I'm
no
just saying,
actual.
right? There's no proof. But if they are here, they're not walking around looking like they're not sticking out like a sore thumb, sore thumb. They're
I
blending in.
I don't think no
Maybe
other
cats,
outside.
the actual animal of a cat, are aliens. They've always been. You know what I mean? Just shit like that.
I do not believe for
That
a
does look a little
second
bit like an alien.
that
It's cute as shit, though.
maybe aliens are cute.
Pay your respects to boy cats, guys. Put
We're
in
not worthy.
a high
We're not
thumbs up
worthy.
in the chat if you are paying your respects to boy cat. Let's see if we can get some thumbs up in the chat.
But I personally, if you want to believe that you're aliens, that your next door neighbors are aliens, that's fine.
Mhm.
But like, I don't believe for a second that an outside life form is on this planet. I don't believe that at all. But I will say that there is no. It would be absolutely asinine to believe that we're the only ones in the whole space galaxy.
Well, like, even like the reason why they want to go to
That's so
Mars
dumb.
is because they think that there is life, and they don't think that little men are hiding out on Mars. Back in the
Yeah.
day, they did,
Yeah.
but now they think it might be microbes, and there
Well,
might be like, and if just being able to discover microbes living somewhere other than Earth would, because we already have the suspicions. We
Well,
already
Mars used to have water.
right. Well, it
Well,
does
that's
have
what I was
water,
saying.
like
But
it's
it still
frozen.
has water.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Frozen.
gonna say. Like
It
they're
used to
saying,
be.
wherever there's water, there's a potential for life. But I want to take that a step further and say, what if further? Yeah, it's got to be a step further. Drunk minds confuse me further and farther. But I want to say that we take that a step further and we say, even if there's no water, maybe there's a life form that doesn't need water and has never needed water.
Right, just like there's life forms out there that don't need oxygen, obviously. I mean, we can't assume that every planet has oxygen. We can't assume that every planet's... Because we know not every planet is built just like Earth. I mean, look at Saturn, look at Jupiter, Mars, all that stuff. You know, so it's like, but even outside of our galaxies, there's like a trillion, bazillion more galaxies out there.
Right.
With that are orbiting around like a massive star that, you know, like a sun type deal. You know, so there's like, yeah, there's more life out there. We just can't find it.
But
we can't get to it. And in our lifetime, we're never going to have the technology to be able to get it. Maybe in thousands or more years, maybe. I don't know.
But your thought is they haven't come here yet.
I don't believe that.
But my thing is,
how would they have gotten here? We can't just
but
assume they're more advanced.
That's my
than us.
thing. Maybe we can't, but on this planet, we have things that us as our modern brains, as the smart people that we are, that have the internet, that have fucking Facebook and 5G.
So
we don't know, like I've mentioned before, we don't know how the pyramids in Egypt were built.
They do. No, I mean, there's a couple different theories, but people
But
want to
that's
get all
theories.
conspiracy, but they weren't. Aliens didn't help them.
But my thing is,
we don't give them enough credit. Like and in some ways we don't give them enough credit, and in some ways we give them too much credit.
Right.
Like we think they were these stupid ass like people that didn't know they weren't capable of doing anything. But then we say, oh, they must have been more advanced than we thought they were.
they
No,
don't know how
motherfuckers
to.
that-
But listen, they didn't know how to fucking air fry a chicken. But they clearly could build this fucking monolith.
So
is what I'm saying.
Right. And you go back to the Joe Rogan podcast with Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar is apparently a guy who worked at close to Area 51.
He worked
for like
51.
and he worked there for like 6 months. And he said that he had to work on alien crafts. I don't know if I believe it or not, but one point that he brought up back in the 80s was there were no points of fasteners. There was nowhere where you could have a fastener for the ship. So like from everything that we've created up until now, you had to screw it on, you had to hammer it in,
Right.
you had to glue it together. But this looked like it was 3D printed. But he didn't have the idea of 3D printing until now.
Right.
Now he can say, well, now it makes sense. Like I couldn't tell. It looked like it was molded out of clay. That's like his interpretation back then. But now his interpretation is it looks like it was 3D printed. So maybe, I mean, it sounds like there's something to that.
And the thing is, how much technology do we have now that's been being developed for decades? And it either wasn't stable enough to be used or it just wasn't practical enough for everyday consumption. Like, maybe they've had the internet since 1890, but only people that had it were the world's powers. You know what I mean?
Where they could connect with
and
each
I'm
other.
not saying that's the case,
Right.
but I'm saying
Hypothetically.
there are things that are in development that we don't see as on a public stage until whoever's developing it thinks it's ready or they can make the most money of it. That's why I make the half joke of there's a cure for cancer. I firmly believe that there's a cure for cancer out there, but they don't want to give it to us. That's the same thing. So maybe the technology that our government, again, the United States has the world's most powerful and largest and most equipped military. Where are they getting that technology? Yes, Americans have always been intelligent, but why is it a country with not 7 billion people, excuse me, with 1 billion people, China, aren't coming up with just as many revelations? You know what I mean?
Maybe they just haven't put the budget in or put the resources in, or
And
like
that's a
thought to-
possibility.
thought
I'm
to
not
do
saying
it.
my thought.
But just
I'm
because
not
we
saying that
made
my
those-
thought is the thought.
No, I know.
That is definitely an answer.
But I'm just saying, like, just because we have these advancements, that we've done this, doesn't mean we had to have some sort of outside help. I mean, we just,
But I'm not saying that. Again, for years, I did not think that aliens were a thing. I thought that the life on Earth was the only life, and billions of cosmos, which is ignorant. And again, it is prideful for me to think that me as a human is the smartest thing that's ever lived this planet. That's just wrong. You know what I mean?
Right, and I'm not saying that there can't be more advanced life forms out there in space, but like, I don't think we should assume that they definitely are more advanced and they're here or they've come here. They could be nowhere near the level of nowhere near the level of advancement as us, or they could be light years ahead of us. Like we don't. There's no way to know.
What if What if there was a life form that was on a meteor, or something like that, and it hit here, and it got here either before we were here as humans, or it got here after, but it didn't have that technological advancement to say come from Mars to Earth. It had no choice. It was just a life form that lived on a meteor and it landed on Earth. What if something like that was in a government facility?
Now I would say how yeah, but no. But here's the thing though. Oh, that no. But how do we know that it entering the Earth's or the Earth's atmosphere wouldn't have burnt any life form up? That would be on the
don't. I'm just.
You know.
That argument I made was a counter argument to say that they had the intelligence to want to travel here.
Or they were just already on it to begin with. Like they were like.
But then they wouldn't be aliens, and we would be. Well, none of us would be aliens, but then we would just be higher evolved. I wanted to skip that because I thought that. What if there was something that was already here and the government knew about it and they still exist in that form, but the government's keeping them? But I wanted them to have some sort of higher intelligence, but not be smarter than us. And that's why I said, what if they were just on a meteor that just happened to crash here?
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know how would they survive it, though. You know what I mean? Like, can they resist fire? Can they resist that?
We don't know, but I'm saying space is a vast emptiness. They're surviving without atmosphere, without atmosphere. They're surviving without pressure. They're adapting to gravity. I'm just saying, in my scenario,
in theory, there could be something that could withstand fire.
Well, I'm saying, in my scenario, there's things on this planet that can withstand
like
fire.
living things.
There's living planet. There's a. I want to say it's a.
I can't remember what
slug?
it is. There's some type of
like,
right.
You can
burn
it.
That's just like y'all not getting me, dog. And it's like almost invasive to the point where it's like we don't know how to combat this thing.
You could cut it in half with scissors.
No, when I say it's
what kind of snail is this?
It might not be a snail. I can't remember what it was.
Two kinds of.
But definitely, like fire is like, no, your flamethrowers ain't helping, homie. But I'm just saying, in this scenario, it's a life form that's alien, which means it's not from Earth. It's foreign. Lands on this planet from a meteor, which means it didn't necessarily have the mind frame of the intelligence or technology to choose to come here. That's what I'm combating. Because you're saying you don't think that there's intelligent life. And I'm fine with it. But I'm saying
on this planet, no.
From another planet on this planet.
Yeah, I don't think there's any life outside.
But I'm saying in this scenario, they had no choice. It's not like they said Earth is where we should go. They have all this water.
I mean, I get that they could have gotten here involuntarily.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So it's involuntarily.
Everything got here involuntarily. Water got here from
but there's
crashing
actually
into this rock. Because this was just a rock. And then water crashed from meteorites coming in, and then it all slowly formed.
And there is on this planet things we don't know. Like if they do the composition of it, and we have the periodic scale.
There's 6 animals that live in volcanoes.
So they're like the periodic scale. They'd be like, this mineral or whatever is not from Earth. Not just saying it's an alien, but it's a rock. It's not a living that we know. Maybe that fucking rock has intelligence. It just has no reason to react. We don't know. But I'm just saying there are things on this planet that aren't on our periodic scale, if that makes sense.
We're always discovering new things.
But they're not us. We're the top dog.
There was a specific type of
I want to say it was like a type of slug or
something like that. What should I say? An insect? What insect lives near lava or in lava?
Not even lava, just say insect immune. Say life forms on Earth immune to death. I'll be back. I gotta pee.
What kind of immune response do insects have? I don't know. I don't think that's going to send me into the right track. It seems like that's going to send me off. So I'm gonna go on back to the comments real quick. And so Laura said, "My mind is always open to other forms of life. We don't know. We really don't know." And Laura said, "But go back to the ghost hunting. Come to Fall River, Mass, to the Lizzie Borden house."
I've heard of that house. I've seen stuff about that. The
What
Lizzie
about
Borden
that?
house. No, I've just seen like I've seen a few ghost hunting shows that did that house.
Right.
And I've seen some like amateur footage
Mhm.
from that house. You definitely, I mean, I would love to go up there
Yeah.
to go visit that.
And then Eric Garcia said, "What's up, Eric?" He said, "Ancient civilizations before us recorded plenty of evidence of advanced civilizations from outer space." And he said, "Dude, look at the Sumerian tablets and the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki is that planet that's apparently like comes around once every great forever." And a lot of ancient civilizations were keeping track of a lot of things that we still don't understand what they were talking about back then. So it's hard to
Well,
really.
they had different things set up. They had different things.
They had
in place,
different
how they tracked
interpretations of the world
suns,
anyway,
different
right.
interpretations, right? Exactly.
Right.
Like they're sitting there drawing shit on the walls, like the sun's back, and let's worship it, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, like our minds evolve just as much as we do, obviously. So we know a lot more now than we did back then.
Right.
But I feel like with the Egyptians, I feel like we sell them short in a lot of cases, and I also feel like we give them too much credit in a lot of cases. Like, I don't think they were as dumb as we think they were just because they didn't have the technology we have today. I definitely think, look, they built the fucking pyramids. They obviously built it. They obviously had a way to do it, but we can't comprehend it. We can't figure out how they did it. But just because we can't figure it out now doesn't mean that there's some crazy explanation as to how they did it. We just can't figure it out.
Right.
We can't figure out how they moved these ton fucking stones and did all this stuff. We can't figure it out. That doesn't mean they couldn't. So just because we can't do it doesn't mean, or we can't figure it out doesn't mean, oh, it had to be some crazy thing that happened. Oh, it had to be aliens. Oh, they had fucking iPads and they had cranes, way before our time. Like it's not fair to say that. You know what I mean? Just because we can't figure it out.
And,
They obviously had a way.
Right, and then on over to the YouTube side of things, Kylo T91 said, "I think nanotechnology would get us closer to that point that aliens are believed to have achieved, and magnets. Magnets are interesting, but it's all very interesting. And I found the interesting thing for you, Bob. They are called here. Let me pop it up for everybody so before I start talking about it, so we can see. They are called the tardigrades. Tardigrades are known colloquially as water bears or moss piglets, phylum or water-dwelling, eight-legged, segmented micro-animals. They were first described by German zoologists in 1773, who called them little bears. But they have been found everywhere, from mountaintops to deep sea and mud volcanoes, from tropical rainforest to the Antarctic. Tardigrades are among the most resilient animals known, with this individual species able to survive extreme conditions such as exposure to extreme temperatures, extreme pressures, both high and low, air deprivation, radiation, dehydration, starvation, that would quickly kill most other known forms of life. Tardigrades have survived exposure to outer space. About 1,300 known species of phylum Tardigrada are part of the superphylum blah blah. The earliest known true members of the group are known as Cretaceous, Amber, but they can survive even in the vacuum of space. Tardigrades can survive, and those are from Earth. Apparently, they're from Earth. I mean, I guess we're all made of stardust technically, but you know what I mean. But tardigrades, like that, seems to be
that word. That's offensive to me.
What, tardigrades?
Yes, I would appreciate it if you.
Well, I can't help that you're a
I thought he was gonna
tardigrade.
I thought he was going to say Stardust for whatever fucking reason.
But tardigrades are interesting. That's
right, and that type of life form. Because here's the thing: show a photo of that.
No,
'cause
don't show it.
that, yeah, right there. Boom.
It looks like a
All right. Here's the deal. I think when we think life forms, we're thinking people, cats, dogs. Like we don't ever think about this type of shit.
No, we don't.
These
Right.
types of things, like what if this is now? Obviously, there's way more life form out there, different life form, all shapes and sizes. Who the fuck knows what it is or what it looks like? But there could be a planet swarming with these little fuckers right here, right? That they're just around. They're not evolving really. They're just around.
They're
doing
just there,
little,
hanging out.
Little parasite shit, whatever. You know what I mean? They're not building rockets coming to space. Okay, like they're just not doing it. You know, things like that. It's like we
Not
just
yet.
assume,
But what if what if? Okay, so like the whole theory of evolution. What
Right.
if tardigrades took the mammalian route
Right.
and they became one of the more intelligent
could
ones?
have.
But then they have. I know this is all theoretical.
It's
It's
yeah.
all ideas, and it's not
all
like.
hypothetical.
But just the fact that like that sounds like a hypothetical animal or insect that doesn't even exist anyway, but it does. And
It
like
might.
but it's been around since the 1700s, so everybody's known about it for a long time.
right.
But they found this thing, it can survive in the snow, it can survive all over the place. Are you okay?
No, this chair is killing me.
Do you need another cushion? Do you need a...
I'm gonna fold this up. You guys can continue.
We can
talking.
do another
I
cushion over there.
apologize
You want to
to
use that cushion
to
too?
the live
Just a
stream.
towel? The towel
Oh,
for you?
yes.
Well,
My
you know
bum
this
is
is
sore, I
live.
can't.
This is live.
It is live, and
Here,
I don't
do
mean
another
to
cushion. Sorry, I
be
threw it
a-
at you. My bad. I hope that was on camera. I hope that everybody got me throwing a towel right into your face.
I'm not trying to be a prima donna.
Hey guys, we're live, so that's what you get when we're live. But tardigrades are fascinating, and that's one of the things that I thought that like goes back to your point. That was the animal or insect or whatever you want to call it that I was thinking like could show that there's some type of weird potential that something out there could exist.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he was asking, how do we know it didn't get burned up in the atmosphere, which is a reasonable
What are
question.
you talking about? The comet thing again?
Yeah, and
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
just proof that some things are practically indestructible.
Yeah, but I really do feel like if you sat there with fire long enough, the fucking thing's gonna burn. Like you can't. My mic's nowhere near me. You can't. You can't just ignore the laws of whatever the fuck burns. Like
But-
shit
but the
burns.
thing
Stuff
is-
burns. I don't know.
Thermodynamics.
Thermodynamics. Like
But
I
the
don't know.
thing is, everything has a different boiling, burning, melting point.
Whatever
Like,
those
like diamonds-
retard bugs were, like if
we
you
could
fucking
step into a fucking.
Tardigrades.
If I put
Tardigrades.
my hand on his stove, my hand's gonna fucking catch on fire or
Right.
burn. But a diamond's not with that level of heat.
But there is a level of heat that will melt the fucking thing.
But maybe not with that.
God damn, but diamonds aren't alive, and those things are alive. They break
And they're alive.
down.
To be
They can
fair,
survive
I don't
in
know
lava.
They
why a
survive
diamond.
in lava.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
yeah.
a diamond isn't considered alive. I don't know that. Why? I'm not a scientist, is what I'm saying. Like, why isn't a rock a thinking thing that we just don't know?
It doesn't have
It's
all
a
the
thinking
stuff
thing,
that we
you know
have
what I
in it.
mean?
You know, it's just a rock.
It just says extreme temperatures,
Right.
but it doesn't say. Do we need
So
to
that
look
means
up?
if the Hardy
But I
Boys
think
start
that
stomping
we-
on that nigga,
I-
he's gonna be good.
I think they're with the Hardy Boys. Is that what you
So
said?
that Team Extreme.
Team
okay,
Extreme.
I just got that. But no. So, but I'm saying, okay, so we don't have to get too crazy with the tardigrade
Too late.
things. I just think that I think if to Bob's scenario of life forms being attached to a comet that crashed here and now they're on the planet, I do think that is a very real possibility. That could happen, right? I mean, if you think about it, like you got a big ass rock hurling through space, and we don't know where that rock came from. We don't know how it became the rock and became the rock. It became a rock.
We know how the
And
rock
it started.
became
Yeah,
the
we know how the rock became the rock. HRT. But no, so you got him like orbiting through space and coming off of other planets and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, boom! Now it's on a path towards Earth,
Mhm.
and then it breaks into our atmosphere. Boom! Fireball! Boom! Fucking explosion! Impact! Whatever! And now whatever life form would have survived that may have been on that comet
Right.
is now stuck on the planet. Like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, whatever it is, and then maybe it died off because our atmosphere is not an atmosphere that whatever that thing. Those parasites or microorganisms or
Whatever.
fucking space dogs, like whatever, was on
Space
it.
dogs.
Was on it. Now it has to survive breaking into the Earth's atmosphere, where a big rock becomes a big ass fireball. Then it comes
Mhm.
screaming towards Earth. Boom! Now it has to survive the actual impact. Then it has to, if it somehow got through those two things, now we don't even know if the atmosphere that we live in would be an atmosphere that they could survive in. So Then they survived being in a fireball. They survived slamming into the side of the planet. Now they got to survive our atmosphere. I'm not trying to keep repeating myself. I'm just saying we don't know if those three things right there would be like if they could survive all of those three things and now they're walking around Earth somewhere or they're buried underground like doing underground shit.
Right.
You know, like ants and worms and shit.
Can I say another?
This is too many what ifs.
Another barrier or difficulty in alien life form, not a tardigrade because it's tiny, but something like anything small, anything like not smaller than that, but like anything the size of like a mouse or something.
Yeah, gotcha.
You see your mom?
That's a moth.
But then,
but
not only those three things you said they had to survive back into space, and the fucking atmosphere, the impact, our atmosphere, then they also have to survive motherfuckers trying to eat it. To say, I wonder if we can eat that.
Too, yeah.
Because
they all heard the explosion. Now they're wondering what the fuck that
oh,
was.
look at them.
So they're all coming over now.
Look at the shrimp with wings. Let's eat them. And you know somebody would try this.
I would eat a shrimp with wings.
Get your butterfly net, catch it.
All right. Moving on. That was a fun subject.
I
moving on.
I feel like we've been on that topic for like 8 years.
Yeah,
bro.
I know. So what do you? We'll give you guys a decision. What do you guys want to cover? Do you want to cover a man dresses as the Grim Reaper to warn about coronavirus, or California woman dreamed about swallowing her ring, wakes up to find out she ate her ring, her wedding ring, while she was asleep?
I want to talk about.
I feel like the ring thing's better.
I want to say the ring thing's better. I want to get the bow, and the Grim Reaper is a very short story.
Yeah, it's probably more. Let's do the ring because there's probably more with that, and then we'll finish strong and finish hard real quick with the Grim Reaper. Because Grim Reaper's funny.
If we talk about the ring, it's going to be potentially long.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We gotta jump in. We gotta jump right into it.
Let's do it.
We're 60 minutes in right now. Let me double check just to see for sure how we is doing with the times. Yeah, we're oops. I don't want to mess anything up here. 71 minutes in, so we still have a little bit of time. We try to time these out to an hour and a half to 2 hours. Let's do it.
Very minimum, we got 20 minutes. We're going to give you a hot
Let's
fire.
rock and roll. We're going to do
Fire.
California man. Oh no! I'm sorry.
We're doing the woman.
Not California man. California woman dreamed about eating her engagement ring. Woke up to find she really did. I popped that sucker off, put it in my mouth, and swallowed it with a glass of water.
Like the whole story. I know you're going to read this.
She looks like she would too.
Jenna Evans wrote in a Facebook post about the ordeal.
She's like, I got it back.
On Tuesday, Jenna Evans
Listen,
was on a high-speed train that was racing down the tracks, her fiance by her side, when some bad guys appeared. She said there was only one way to protect her 2.4 carat diamond engagement ring: swallow it. So that's what she did. I popped that sucker off, put it in my mouth, and swallowed it with a glass of water, Evans said in a Facebook post. I should click on that Facebook post, but I'm not. Then she woke up. Evans realized on Wednesday morning that the whole episode had just been a vivid, bizarre dream that she told Today, which NBC, ABC, whatever, was very James Bond. That is until she realized her engagement ring was no longer on her finger. Here's a beautiful picture of that ring. Inside, I love people. I love humans. Humans are just the best things that I've ever seen. This woman ate, what was that, a 2.4 carat diamond ring? Is that a lot? Is it 2.4? We're a bunch of poor scrubs. We don't know.
When you described how many carats it was, I was like, way too poor.
I'm like, I guess that's a lot, guys. I guess that's a very expensive ring. Evans, who has a history of sleepwalking, the plot thickens, or does it really? Sleepwalking, soon realized that while the bad guys in high-speed train had been snoozing her subconscious, the consumption of her engagement ring was not. When I woke up in the morning, there was no ring on my finger, Evans told Today. I feel like she did this just to get on TV. I couldn't help but laugh at it. And then I had to wake my fiance up and tell him that I had to take a shit to get the ring back. But she didn't say that. She said I had to tell him I swallowed my
I read
engagement
the
ring.
article. I did not remember that.
Evans said on Facebook she had to Google if adults often... starting to annoy.
I swallowed my ring. What do I do?
I know that children do this, but do adults swallow their rings? when they're sleeping, when they're sleepwalking, yeah, probably. They do a lot of dumb shit when you're sleepwalking. Evans went on an urgent care clinic where doctors decided against letting the ring pass naturally through the 29-year-old's system and instead referred to a gastroenterologist. The gastroenterologist promptly performed an upper endoscope with the insertion of a small camera and a device down someone's throat. Evans wrote that she began to cry as she signed the release forms of... Good? You don't like her? Fearing that she would die during the procedure and not get to fulfill a different dream, marrying her fiancé.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have swallowed the fucking ring, you moron. The fuck?
Well, she didn't do it.
I waited a long time for that damn engagement ring, and I will marry Bobby Howell. Damn it.
Like, when I read that part, I was like, damn.
Well, if I was Bobby, I'd be like, can you not swallow a fucking ring this time, please?
How much do you think he spent on it? I mean,
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah,
Not like any of us.
No.
Just
Eat it,
take
you
a guess,
psycho.
damn it.
$200.
I'm going to say 2,000.
I'm
Probably
gonna say,
more than that.
I'm gonna say 18,000.
Why?
Because it's higher.
Well,
It's
Bobby
higher.
Howell. Come holler at your
Buy a
boy
fucking
Bobby
car. Do
Hollywood.
you know where a car
Because
can get you with 18,000?
18,000. I'll suck that nigga dick. I'm just saying.
Bob, language.
But now you guys, he went incredibly low. You went 2,000, so I went higher
I
because
was
if it's
joking.
higher, I win.
You win.
I
It's Bob-
joked-
What is it?
It's
Price is Right?
Price is Right rules, man.
I
said
joked to show you
18,000.
I have no fucking clue.
Yep.
Is the price on here?
I could look it up.
Oh, okay. I thought you knew the number.
I don't
Well,
know.
we know the carrots.
I would have been an educated
None of
guess,
us
and he would
know.
have been cheating. He would have won. So I guess
I
you
hope
would know.
we'll see. Bobby finally gave my ring
Oh,
back
shit,
this
I
morning.
didn't
Wait a minute. Doctors found the engagement ring in her intestines. This sounds so ridiculous.
I gotta
Like,
dry myself off.
You're a grown ass adult, and you gotta get a ring
You gotta
taken out of your
shit a
intestines.
ring out.
This is like a dog. Like my dog ate my intestines.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be doing next time. He's going to be like, honey, take it out. Honey, give me the ring. Give me the
Right,
ring. Let
give me
go. Let go. Let go.
Bobby finally gave me my ring back this morning. I promised not to swallow it again. Tee-hee, so funny. We're still getting married and all is right in the world, Evans wrote. Barring any further, what kind of word is that? Somnambulist snacking? Do you know that word? Sleep. That's a fancy word. Evans and Howell plan to get married May 2020. I'm so grateful everybody can laugh
See,
about it because
when
it's truly a funny story.
When I read that, obviously I read it yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever you sent it, I was thinking, damn, I wonder if they actually got married, because obviously we're past May 2020, and they probably weren't expecting the world situation. So
Yeah, that's
I wonder
true
if they're
too.
married.
That's true with that too.
They
Yeah,
might have waited and postponed it.
that's so
But
fascinating.
also-
People are ridiculous.
When I first read it, I was like, how do you just eat your ring in your dream? Like, I've had some vivid dreams that feel either very scary because they're very lifelike or just very euphoric
Mhm.
because they feel like it's happening. But I've never done what's happening in the dreams. But then it does clarify that she's sleepwalks.
Right.
And she
So,
does.
so if she sleepwalks,
So-
then like there's no telling.
I just wonder what the science behind that is, because
And I just think of the scene from fucking Step Brothers where like, oh,
Get over here.
like, villain, I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm thinking like, how in all the things in that particular dream, why was that the only thing that was real?
Yeah.
The eating of the ring part.
The
You know what I
eating of the
mean?
ring part. Nobody was in there trying to. I mean,
Like,
I
it's 'cause
understand the
you're
stress.
You're not on the train.
I've had dreams where I had like that heart pounding because I was hiding a body in a lake and I heard the police coming and like I'm throwing it in there, but I don't know if the police are coming for me or if they're
A
just
dream,
doing
Because
police.
we didn't just do that 3 weeks ago.
Bob, not 3 weeks. It was 4 weeks ago, but.
But my thing is, I have had dreams where I've woken up from the dream and cannot move.
You're
Not-
woke.
Not
Bob's
sleep.
woke.
Listen,
So woke. Go
Not-
ahead, Bob. Go
not
ahead. I'm doing the
sleep
step on
around.
to you.
not sleep paralysis where it's like, well, what is happening? But you had the dream and you are now awake, and the dream was just so powerful that you're just still laying there like, whoa, I
Yeah.
made it out. But
Yeah.
you can't do anything just yet. And those dreams, good or bad, like the feeling you have when you come back, I wish that if they could put that in the drug, I'd be a junkie.
Yeah.
Like-
have you had a dream where it was like the worst of the worst was happening to you,
Mhm.
and then when you woke up and you realized it was a dream, and you were like,
But the same thing is like
That feeling.
a bad shit will be happening, and I'll wake up and my heart's not beating, but there's like almost like you're numb, and there's ice cubes on your body, on your fingertips, on your because that's how numb you are.
yeah,
But you're you're typically when this happens, I don't know the science behind it. Typically, I'm laying flat on my back when I wake up, and I'll look up and like I know I'm awake. I can process the things around me, but I cannot move yet because whatever was happening in that dream, it's just like woo. It's still my body hasn't caught up that
Right.
you're awake,
Right.
but it's not like I'm in pain. It's just like God damn. Like it usually happens if I'm about to die in a dream. Not always. Sometimes if I'm about to die in a dream, I'll just wake up and be fine. But
Mhm.
sometimes it'd be good or bad. Like, oh, I'm about to get my, and it's like you wake up and you're like, why did that happen? But you're stuck there and you feel like a tingling. Only thing you can feel is your heart just like, whoa, bro. And it's like I said, if you could put that in drug form, I would do it. Whether it's a good or a bad dream, it's like it feels so different from anything I've ever felt on this world.
I mean, I've had dreams where it's like, it seems so goddamn real, and you're so convinced it is real. And I'm the kind of person, not trying to sound like one of these people, it's like my anxiety, but like I'm the kind of person where I can think in my dreams. Like I know I'm dreaming, and like I know that like wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. Like I can navigate a little bit, I guess you could say, through my dreams. Like how do I get out of this?
Where
Like
you have more of an
legitimately,
idea. Right.
yeah, like legitimately, I'll be in my dream because I remember this stuff, and I'm like, how do I get out of this? I know this isn't real. I know this isn't happening, but I'm stuck in there. I'm stuck. I can't get out of that dream. Then of course you obviously wake up, and then I'm like, whoa, like holy fuck! All right, that wasn't real. I'm awake now. It's like you have that moment where you're like, fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm glad it wasn't real because I have some fucked up dreams sometimes. It's like, good lord, like, then I start thinking, why is my brain like that? Why am I dreaming these things?
I'm going to jump back to the comments real quick because we've got a little bit of good stuff. Ralph Justice, homeboy Ralph, our producer, said that 2.4 carat diamond estimates at 12,000 to 25 or 12,000 to 15,000.
You went over.
I was 18,000, but that's
I was
just the diamond
2,000.
itself.
Yeah,
You
but he
still-
did go
That's
over
just-
though.
No, but that's just the diamond itself, not including the actual ring part.
My friend, you went over.
No, I did not, because the ring too costs money. Like the band, the metal part, the fucking whether it's
And,
gold or silver.
You are not going to try to fucking punch your way out of this box.
If it's
You
they don't
went
just
over,
charge
son
you
of
for
a-
the
And
diamond,
Shamla said maybe she was high.
then it has to get fitted. That costs money. She didn't get high. She's fucking crazy.
And the
She needs
diamond ring
medication.
depends
She
on the
slept
diamond
well.
cut.
Yeah, there's medication for that.
Right.
She's
Rory
not
laughed at it.
crazy. Come on now.
She's sleepwalking.
If I can't say
swallowing
certain
rings.
things, you can't say that.
So people that sleepwalk like that to that extent aren't crazy.
How could they swallow the ring?
They're walking around fucking doing shit like that.
Would you rather swallow a ring or kill somebody?
So we'll say
Oh,
12,600
what is
is the would be the price for the rings. I got that pulled up for you so you can see a little bit of list of the prices. So it's not a cheap ring. It's not a cheap ring that
Not at all.
she decided to down. But did she get up and get a glass of water and then like?
Some people keep a glass of water next to their bed. I'm not going to keep a
That's true.
glass.
Yeah, that's
I do
true.
keep water nearby.
Mhm.
I do wake up sometimes with a particularly dry throat or just wanting to drink, you know, but
Mhm.
I don't think
I always go to sleep with a big ass cup of water
you know,
next to me.
you know.
I do. The fuck? I fucking I always go to sleep with a big ass cup of water next to me. I got like those big fucking cups, like those big gulp looking cups or whatever. And I'll just fill it with water and I put it on my nightstand because I know I'm gonna get thirsty and I don't feel like getting up and going to the kitchen all the fucking
What
time.
guy isn't thirsty?
True. Jimmy can't even entertain
I
it.
want folks to be like,
Jimmy
God,
does not like you on.
I want
I swear,
folks-
Jimmy don't like you on the podcast.
I want folks to be like, that Bob Hollywood is so meta. He's just
he
on another level.
is. He is on another
But Jimmy
level.
don't like me in real life. He ain't just about the podcast. But yeah, she got her ring back. I just thought it was also humorous when she was like, "I'm going to marry Bobby Hall." like Bobby Hall
And
was
he's
just
sitting behind the camera
like Bobby Hall was
Kind of got to call quits on this one.
the man in town,
Right.
and
right.
she got lucky and nothing.
Hey, he's gonna be
Nothing's
going,
gonna
he's gonna be-
stop
Nothing
that.
He's gonna
Stop
be
that.
fucking no. He's gonna be sleeping and he's gonna wake up. She's just standing over him like this, with her eyes wide open, and he's like, "Hey, is everything good?" And she's fucking snoring with her eyes wide open, just staring at
You
him.
know, those movies
shut.
from the 50s, it was like Bobby Howell, the captain of the football team. He's come from a well-to-do family, and
Yep.
her family's well-to-do. But if she marries fucking
They'll be even
Mitch
better
Hay-
to do.
if she marries Mitch Hayworth, who's just slightly less well-to-do than Bobby, she's a failure. So she was going to marry
She's
Bobby
not going to
Howell.
let that one slip through her fingers, even though she slipped it through her
She slipped
stomach
it through
on
her
purpose.
stomach.
She ate it.
He was like, oh my
All right. Is that all we got for that? Is that all we got for that? Dreams? Anybody want to talk about more dreams?
I mean,
Hey, if you guys in the chat have any interesting dreams that you guys want to share, we're definitely willing to share some of the stories, because
yeah,
dreams
that's-
are weird, man. Like I was talking about earlier, like I've had so many crazy dreams, and it's hard to tell what's real. and
But
what's
see,
not.
I've never, like how Jimmy just said, or not just said, but how he said he's in his dream
Mhm.
and he knows he's dreaming and he can help navigate. Like,
Yeah.
this
can
doesn't
have
make,
lucid dreams.
This doesn't quite make sense.
I don't
Yeah, I
do
don't
that
know
all the
what that
time.
means.
I do
I
it
wanna
sometimes.
say-
It means you know
I
you're in
want
a
to
dream.
say, first off, Jimmy's not even that bright in real life. So for the fact to be fucking Sherlock in his dream, he's like, this is out of place.
He's Sherlock
I
in
know
his dream.
that the Velociraptors
Oh, no.
can't fucking turn the bathtub on. So this is a dream.
You do be having weird ass dreams like that where you're just doing dumb
But when
shit.
I'm in my
Like,
dream-
What's the weirdest dream you
I
had?
don't know. But when I'm in a dream, I don't know that it's
like
a
a
dream.
toilet
It
top of a
feels
tree.
real. I've never been in a dream and it's like, oh, I know this is a dream. That doesn't make sense. I would never own an apple, so I know this is a dream. Not like that. That's just an example. But when I'm in my dream, like I said, I'll have dreams, whether it's me saving the world or me failing to save the world or me finally losing my virginity or something like that.
Something like that.
When I wake up, I'm like, no! It was just about to go in! And it's like,
Oh no! Oh, Bob, language, man. I mean, that's
didn't
not
say
even
that.
language.
I didn't say that.
Topics, Bob. Topics. I can't. It was a beer, Bob.
Almost,
Jesus.
almost every
Christ.
person on this planet is here because
This guy's-
somebody wasn't a virgin. I can't talk about it in my dream.
You can't. Not in your dream. In my dream.
If it was real, it's a different thing. But you can't do it in your dream.
It was about to go in. No, and you're like, wow.
No! Hold up. In my dream, Ron's hand is like this. And you sleep, you're like, huh? And the eyes just wake up. You're like, no! It was about to get wet for the first time! But you can't move, though. Like, I can't move. I'm stuck there like.
Sleep paralysis.
And then eventually I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Fuck. Let me close my eyes. I'm not ready. I'm never, like.
That's the best.
You have to go in there.
Have you? So how many? Like, okay, well, it
No.
doesn't necessarily have to be sex, but it can be sex. I mean, nothing explicit.
No, that's
Obviously,
it.
YouTube, please. We're on Facebook Live and we're on Twitch as well. If we get kicked off of YouTube because of Bob, I'm just gonna blame Bob.
See how
But-
easy it is for a person like me to be the scapegoat?
If
I'll
you
leave it
guys
at
go
that.
back to the only audio podcast that we used to do, and we'll
Don't
bring
give
that
them
back
ideas.
eventually. We're gonna bring that
Don't
back
give them
eventually too.
ideas.
We'll bring that back too, but right now we got to do the live stuff because the live stuff is hot. It's hot, baby. You got to jump on it while it's hot. You know what I'm saying? But have you guys ever had like a dream where it was like really, really awesome? It doesn't have to be sexual, but where you woke up and then you tried to go back to sleep because the dream was like
Oh, yes.
the dream was exactly what you wanted, and then you wake up and you're like, "Fuck!
And I
I'm
wanna
gonna go
say-
back to sleep," and you
I wanna
can't
say-
find that dream again.
One out of 10 times that works. Like sometimes I'll wake up because I have to pee and I'm like, I'm not gonna pee. I'm just gonna lay here and close my eyes. I'll go back to
I
sleep.
need to go back
And
to
that
sleep.
does happen. It's only happened like 10% of the time.
Where you went back into it.
But I still feel like you don't get the conclusion. I feel like dreams don't conclude.
No, I don't think. Yeah,
Like, I
that's
feel
a
like
good
it's just
point.
like an episode of Dragon Ball Z back in the fucking day when we were in high school. And Dragon Ball Z, is Goku finally gonna beat Frieza? Is Frieza gonna destroy the planet? And then
Find out 20 episodes later.
Instead of it happening in the next episode, they fucking next time you turn on Cartoon Network, the fucking whole series is starting.
Oh, I
like,
hate
motherfucker.
Oh, I hated that.
I feel like that's
Oh.
what, like I feel like dreams never fucking conclude.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Yep. Ever. That's ridiculous. But that's fun. That was a fun subject. Dreams are always great, though. We can always jump back and forth in dreams because
Right, I
dreams
do
are like
a scary dream. Not necessarily when I say scary, I mean like, oh, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers. After I've had those, I think all of us have had those.
Mhm.
But more just like, damn, the world just ended in my dream and couldn't stop it, shit like that. That type of scary. That's more realistic, more impactful. Because if Michael Myers kills me in my dream, if he's gonna kill me in real life, I'm just one
I mean,
person.
I definitely even recently had a very like. Where am I at?
I'm
It,
just trying to
it
fix
keeps,
it.
it
I
keeps
know it
doing
keeps
that.
falling.
Yeah,
It sucks.
like
We
I
need to get
tightened it
new
up.
ones. The studio is just falling apart already.
That
We just got
very
it.
is very real and very emotional. Like I wake up very emotional, and I wake up like one time I just couldn't keep myself together.
Do you have like
and,
heavy dream? Like, how is it emotional? Is it like
Well,
relationship
and-
type stuff?
and
or is
I
it
didn't-
like
I didn't-
nothing too personal? But
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
was
mean.
gonna
Like
say,
the
I
subject.
didn't start saying this just to drop it, but like I definitely don't want to talk about the dream. But it was very bad, like very emotional,
Oh.
and I woke up and I just went in my bathroom and I just started crying, like, and I
It
couldn't
got
stop
you
crying.
that much.
in real life.
Yeah, in real life, I just
Do
couldn't
you
stop
think
crying.
that like that was your brain
It was
telling you
very
anything?
Yeah, because it was too personal. It was too for someone who's not here anymore.
I wonder what your subconscious is
And,
trying to tell you.
It was just too. It was too much. And I don't even like thinking about it. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it still fucks with me. And this was maybe a couple of months ago, like a month
Mind
ago.
is such a
It
fascinating.
was bad. Not bad in a bad. It was very emotional and very real, very deep. And again, I'm not trying to say this and then be like, not gonna tell you.
Thing. No,
not
but-
like that.
Right,
it was
right.
just because I don't want
It's
to
too
talk
personal.
about it.
Right.
But like
too
it's
much. It's too heavy for you.
It was too real.
How long ago was it?
Maybe a month.
Oh,
Maybe
so it's
a month
still
ago.
it's still
yeah.
fresh.
And
It's,
it
it's
was
not,
just because of the person that's not with me anymore, that is not alive anymore, and it was like what was going on and what was happening. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll get emotional talking about it. It was just bad. It was fucked up. And I don't understand not fucked up, but like just emotional. I don't understand how that happens. How did that happen?
your
How did
mind.
what is
Do
that?
you think that that's your mind trying to tell you something in your subconscious? Because
I
there's a
don't know.
lot of. So I have like 2 books over there where they talk about like dream interpretation, and it's not even like literal interpretation, like you can do one language to the other and it doesn't translate necessarily. So this is just trying to pull, like they're trying to explain what's going on in your subconscious, and you have all these different types of symbols that you can see that happen into a dream, but then they gather the data with a bunch of different people who have the similar types of dreams, and then they have similar types of things going on in their lives. So there are people who are putting real work into dream, because dreams, like, you know, you think about like, oh, it's just your brain, it's just this. But we are humans. We do have a million years of evolution with our brains, and there's a lot of different patterns that are stuck in our head,
Right.
in our brains. So maybe there is something in the subconscious where it's telling you something that you don't want to hear. Maybe it's not even that you don't want to hear. Maybe it's something that you don't even realize, but somewhere in your head you do realize it.
Yeah.
And it's trying to bring it up, and it's trying to like.
Sometimes
know.
I feel like it's like I'm not a spiritual person,
Mhm.
and
We know.
I don't believe in ghosts and things like that. But when you've lost someone incredibly close to you, and then you dream about them,
Yeah.
and they're talking to you in your dream, and they're telling you stuff that's very current, that's very like shit you've been wondering, and now this person is telling you this stuff and telling you it's okay, or telling you stuff like that, and
Mhm.
it's like, is that just your mind putting that stuff together with that image, with that visual in your head, like your subconscious, conscience, or whatever? Or is it some more spiritual type shit where that person is really visiting you in your dreams?
Could
and
be.
trying- you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, and I don't pretend to know. I have no clue.
So I think that like in my perspective on it, you know how like we create like the computers, and computers are just like rudimentary brains, and we're basically like creating ourselves in the computers. But we've created radios, and radios are receptors from signals that are coming, and they're radio signals that are coming.
Yeah.
What if we do have receptors that do come, and that's why spirituality, though spirituality is disputed and argued throughout the world, it's everywhere. Whether it be Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, all the different religions. That's just the top one. Sikhs, all these different types. These are all people trying to explain that, like, we have these receptors, and maybe we're dreaming. Maybe you take some, like, you go to Brazil and you take some ayahuasca and you have your spiritual. You don't even have to take ayahuasca to have a spiritual realization. This is like, there's got to be something to that. There's got to be something to where you go so deep into your subconscious, where I've read, like, where guys have, like, they've tried to go deep into their subconscious where they fell asleep. They had a gun under their pillow because they were like, this is gonna fuck with me so hard. If I need to end it, I'm gonna end it. It's like you go that deep into your subconscious. But think about, like, the dream that you had and how bad it bothered you, and now think about exploring that. Now you sit down and then you write out exactly as vibrant as you can how this dream happened and what happened in this dream, and now you're going to try to explore that. And now you go explore it and you go deeper and deeper. And if you go deeper and deeper, sometimes you never know if you can come back. It's just one of those things. So it's like I think that we have receptors. There's some type of spirituality receptor that we have. And I'm not completely against. I used to be like hardcore atheist where I was like, oh, there's nothing exists. We're just these. Sure, you can say that, but there's got to be something to everybody needing that. They need something. And I know, like, you don't want to die, and you want to. I don't even think, like, I don't care where I go when I die, but I still feel like there's something there. There's some type of another world that you can communicate on another level. Because there's some people that you do get along with on another level. You don't have to explain shit. You don't have to do or say anything.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just full of horse shit.
No, well, you might be full of horse
I might
shit.
be full of horse shit.
But
I am half the time.
I also think, too, that when people are constantly searching for something and they can't get the conclusion on their own, or they can't get what they're looking for on their own, they chalk it up to, oh, well, it must be something else out there. It must be a higher power, or I can't explain this, so it must be something else. And it's like, well, maybe I don't have the answers. Maybe it could be something else, or maybe you just can't explain it. You can't find the answers you're looking for. Either keep trying, try harder, or just stop looking for those answers because you're never going to find them.
Right.
It's that kind of, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, those are just ideas that, to try to not dispute that there's a higher power, or there's more to the universe, or there's more to what's going on with our minds and our bodies. I don't know. Frankly, it's too much for me to think about, and I don't fucking feel like thinking about
It's a lot. So we'll go back. We'll go to the comments. We'll go head on over to Facebook, and we'll get some of the comments on there. And Laura Sprangler, thank you, Laura. Laura's always Sprangler. Why do I always say Sprangler? Spangler. I put an R in. I'm so sorry, Laura. Yes. I had an emotional one this morning about my mom who passed away, but luckily it wasn't horrible. More of mine that I remember are right before I wake up. That makes sense. Shamala said, they do say dreams are your subconscious feeling, which we don't accept. I could definitely see having some problems, and you have some dreams that are haunting you, and you need to take care of whatever these dreams are bothering you by. And right. Diabetes. And then Lori said, those are hard. I dream of my parents too. Then Shamala said, they say our brain is capable of many things. There was an episode of Discovery Channel long back which talks about power of the brain, where we can actually create path in reality just by thinking. That's a really painful dream. Sometimes it's hard and emotional. And then Laura said, it sucks, but at least this one was okay and is vivid right before I wake up, and it sits with me hard. And especially, I think that especially losing someone, that's going to affect you differently than anything else.
That's in you.
That rocks your world.
Like
that rocks your world.
Whether it's a loved one, it could be a loved one, it could be a friend, whoever. Like, like you learn how to manage it. Like you learn how to move on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you still think about that person, but you learn to just move on. You got to live your life, right? But then it's like all bets are off when you lay your head down at night and you go to sleep because you can't control what you're going to dream.
You don't know what you're going to do.
So then all of a sudden, these thoughts that you suppress, these feelings that you suppress, because let's say you lost a parent, and when that's fresh, especially if you're close to your parent, you know, whether it be your mother, your father, it's hard when it's fresh. Like you're emotional, you're grieving, it's going to take you a while. Yeah, everybody recovers differently, right? You know, but I think it's safe to say for most people that are close to their like parents, if you lose one or both of them, that's going to sit with you for a minute. It's going to be, it's going to be a while before you just carry on your normal day-to-day life and pick yourself back up and keep living your life. And you don't forget it, but you manage it. And all right, I don't have a parent. I don't have my dad no more. I don't have a mom no more. But it's
known forever.
Yeah, and it's just like you just move on with your life and you evolve, you adapt, you move on. But when you lay your head down at night,
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No,
it's
I
not
should
you.
pay
It's
more
just
attention.
this stupid thing.
But when you lay your head down at night, it's like all bets are off. You know, your brain's going to conjure up something, and then before you know it, you're dreaming about that lost parent.
Right.
Now you're all emotional again, because then, like what I was just saying, because that emotion is so raw, and you want to communicate with that person so bad, and you can't no more. When you dream about them and they're talking to you, you want to believe that they're communicating with you. You want to believe that they came back to say something to me.
Yep.
You want to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And that may be true on a spiritual level, you know, whatever. That may be true. Or it could just be your brain, your thoughts wanting so bad to recreate that person, to reincarnate that person back to come talk to you. And so your brain's going to do that. You're gonna imagine these scenarios in your head. It's like creating a movie in your mind, right? It's like you're going to imagine that, you're going to dream about it. Then you're going to wake up like, fuck, oh no, it's just a dream. And then you're a fucking ball of nerves, you know what I mean? Because now you're all emotional.
Right, exactly.
Can I say, I wasn't going to touch on the heavy aspect of that comment, because obviously I don't want to make that person think about their loss of a loved one. But does anybody else notice that you kind of only dream one thing? Like, say you sleep for 8 hours or 4 hours, you really only remember one dream. Like, there are times when I remember having multiple dreams, but usually it's just that dream.
It's that dream
right before you wake up. Sometimes you don't. It's not even what wakes you up, but it's just that one dream. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have dream after dream after dream after dream after dream after dream.
So like the dreams where
the
dreams
But
where
you can
I
remember
wake
them
up.
all?
No, not all of them.
So the dreams when I wake up and like the world just ended, that's the only dream I can remember. Now it might be like how Jimmy's saying it's not the only dream, but I'm definitely only remembering that last dream before I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder if that's a thing where it's like you only have one dream and you sleep for 8 hours and this dream plays out, but it goes so like time is so skewed in the dream that you're doing something in real life that would only take 30 minutes or 3 hours, but in the dream it's the whole 8 hours.
Right.
Nobody sleeps for 8 hours.
Right.
No one's a fucking sociopath.
Mm-hmm. At least 6. I tried it. I mean, at most 6. If I can get, I'm lucky if I get 6.
Before the new job, 4 hours was me, and I was good with that. But now it just seems like I'm always fucking.
We'll go back to the comments real quick. We got the Facebook side of things. Bob knows about his first-hand cause because I tell him about it. Chanel Abdul. I haven't moved on. It is hard. And that might be a thing too. Back to what you were saying. If you are continuously having these types of dreams, you haven't quite moved on yet. You haven't, and that's like a thing in psychology. It's like if a memory really emotionally bothers you over like 2 years, you have not gotten over it, and you have to work on getting over it.
I wasn't gonna bring her up, but yeah.
Well, she just.
Well, no,
I got
obviously
you.
you don't know.
I'm sorry.
You were just not a fucking mind reader.
I'm just reading.
Yeah, that was my closest to first-hand experience. I've never lost anyone. I figure who Jimmy's talking about. I've never even lost someone that I've never lost anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it happens to people when it happens to people, unless you're the first to go.
Right.
But I've never lost anybody, but I get it. Like, I've seen her, how it affects her. Like, she's never going to not think about her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that would be the same way for all of us. We all have mothers, but
Mhm.
I know for a fact that it affects her deeply. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't have a solution for that. I don't know if there is a solution for that. You miss your mother.
Right.
Like,
And it's
especially
also
depending,
It's
I'm
huge.
not trying to put her business out there, but she was extremely close to her mother her whole life, including when her mother was going. So it's not like
Cool.
Jimmy lives in Los Angeles because his band took off, and then he gets a call and say, "Hey, your mother passed," and he wasn't there those last few years. It's not a situation, but
and honestly,
yeah.
I prefer that. I
But
want that
so
because
I'm
I don't
saying-
want to be close to the
and
situation.
that's like I'm saying.
You
Like,
know what I mean?
She didn't have that.
Right, she was
buffer.
right there the whole
She
time.
was there. It wasn't a car accident. It wasn't just your situation where it was just like health like that. Shit happens. So I know it affects her, and I get it. It's just never happened to
Yeah.
me personally.
And my thing is too, we get so emotional about this stuff, and it fucks with us so bad. But it's at the same time like it's natural. We're
Right.
supposed to
Yeah.
outlive our parents. It shouldn't. Your parents should never have to like put you in the
Deal
ground.
with right.
But the thing is, it's not
Metaphorically,
even.
like, you
It's
know,
not
but-
even that it's your parents. It could be anybody. It's
Right,
just the
right,
fact
no,
that
I know.
you're gonna be hurt. Like, I think about it for a while, and I don't know if it was my depression, but I thought about my own death all the time. Not like wanting to end it.
Right.
I just thought about not being alive. And then now it's more so I think about my parents with them being in their 60s, which is young by today's medical standards,
Right.
but they're older than me.
But they ain't going
Yeah.
back.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not going.
Right.
So if something were to happen, I think about the aspect of I have both my parents. They're married. They've been married for 30 fucking 7-8 years now. Like, they're dependent on one another. Like, they both work and they do their thing, but they're dependent on one another. So I think about if this parent dies, how this parent might react. If this parent dies, how that parent might react. And
And then you got the
it
family.
weighs me. Then you have your family. I have my siblings. I have my mother doesn't have parents anymore, unfortunately, but they're siblings. My parents'
Mhm.
siblings. But my
Mhm.
father's parents, like just the family in general.
Right.
It's like it's crazy. It really
Very
is.
crazy.
Like, and I know when it happens, nothing I can do.
Right.
Like,
right.
it's going
right,
to happen.
right.
You're never prepared for it.
Nope.
Again, even if you see it happening, even if your parents smoked 10 packs of cigarettes a day and it finally caught up with them, you're never prepared for it.
You still feel like
Right. It's like, why did this happen to this person?
Yep.
Even though you know the answer.
You know why?
But if Jimmy goes out of here and he goes 100 miles an hour till he gets home, if he dies one day in a car crash, I'm still going to say, why did my best friend fucking die?
Right.
And I know the answer because he drove 100 fucking miles. He only knew how to go 0, 100 miles.
You know what I do sometimes when I'm driving on like the highway and there's a bunch of cars around you and everybody's moving, everybody's going, or it's the opposite lane of traffic, your lane, everybody's moving, everybody's going. And sometimes I'll look around at different cars if I'm just cruising and I'll just be like, this is life right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is everybody's going to somewhere, coming from somewhere, boom, 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 everybody's moving. These people have lost people, these people know people that are dead and gone. And these people have just died or whatever, and life goes on. Life keeps moving. This is life
Right.
after someone that we knew of our. And I know I'm not trying to get all weird and all deep, but I'm like,
I want you to get as
Like,
deep as you can.
if like when I saw a car accident a few weeks ago down in Canton, and I saw the car, they had the roof cut off. It was a whole thing.
It was bad.
It was bad.
Ooh.
Then I came back and they were putting up flowers and shit on that same pole. And I was like, all right, that person whose car I just saw a couple hours ago, now I know that person's dead. Now I know that person died.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down on that same street almost every single day. And I'm at that light almost every single day. And there's people just moving,
It makes
coming
it
and
way
going,
more
coming and
real,
going, coming
don't
and
it?
going.
Yeah.
And it's like that person lost their life right there. But the world keeps going.
They keep
The
going.
world keeps moving. So
Yeah.
if I went out tomorrow everything's going to be the same. A few people are going to be upset. Hopefully, I don't know. A few people are going to be upset, but life goes on.
Right.
People are still going to celebrate things, win championships, fucking have parties, and go to clubs like you never even existed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
life,
weird
right.
thought. Like it's a weird
very
thing.
weird.
Like life goes on.
And
You know
that's
what
Like
I
the
mean?
history of the world.
And that's
Yeah,
why
so
when I
many
become
people die.
president, I want it to be so like when I'm no longer around, we shut it all down. It's just like
That's the way to go.
Jonestown, Earth,
Right.
7 billion. Like, oh shit, Bob, I went down. We gotta drink this cooler.
So we'll go back to the comments, and then we got a good bit of comments now. So we're back on the Facebook group, and Chanel said Bob knows firsthand because I tell him about my mom. I haven't moved on. And then Laura said, so true. And when you wake up, it feels like you lost them again. That's got to be.
Yeah, because it's fresh
That's
again.
it's very that's pretty brutal right there. And then Lori said, I feel like I'm having a harder time this year because of everything going on. Yeah, you could. I think everyone's having a harder time because of everything that's going on. Like you just in general, you know. So like this type of stuff is going to
go down. It's like the worst year ever.
It's probably one of the worst years ever.
fucked.
And Chanel said, motherless. There's a motherless daughter group, and this is probably important for everybody. There's a motherless daughter group on Facebook, and it's for everyone. It's a great group of folks. So that will be a good thing so that you can go there and relate with other people who have lost their mothers. And I'm sure there's a bunch of different groups for different people that you've lost that were really important to you. So support. I think that support groups and understanding that there are people who go through exactly what you're going through is important.
Yeah.
That type of stuff, especially, that's what's beautiful about the internet, because I know it's very easy to shit on the internet, but that's a really good thing. And then
It's very easy to watch people take a shit.
yeah, Marie Odom said, I have lost my parents and a grandson, and it still hurts me from time to time. And then Laura said, my mom and I all we had were after my dad died, so we did everything together. Now this year I'm having 3 unexpected surgeries in 5 months, and this is hard to do alone. And you're not alone, Laura. You are here with us, and we're here with you, and we're doing everything that we can to try to make. I mean, even though we're not literally here with you, we're here with you now. We're here for you. So. And Chanel said, my daughter is so affected by it. She went back to being a baby, sort of, but she is moving forward, and she is deeply depressed and is only 8.
Yeah, my
That's
oldest daughter
tough, man. That's tough.
My youngest daughter was obviously here when her grandmother was alive, but she didn't get to experience it the way my oldest daughter did. So that's what she's talking about. My oldest daughter is, you should see the way she clings to my mother, not as a replacement, but just to like, I don't know, just like that outlet to show her
But she
love.
realizes death. Was this like her realization of death?
Yeah. And,
Because there's that wakes you up.
right.
I remember death freaking me. I was freaked out by
But the
death for
thing
a
is,
long time.
it's not even necessarily death. It's how close you were to a person. Like my daughter was close to her grandmother,
Mhm.
more so than I was to my grandmother. My mother's mother died. I felt sad for my mother, but I didn't necessarily feel sad that my grandmother was gone. If that makes sense.
Right.
Like I love my grandmother,
Right.
but we weren't so close that the things the folks were talking about in the comments, I felt. Like my mother died, it would be different. But like obviously, I felt bad for my mother. I knew her mother was gone,
Mhm.
and that was her last parent to go. So I felt bad for my mother.
Right. Right.
But so it all depends on, A, yes, if a person goes, B, how they go. Like if you get carjacked and someone shoots you, I'm be like, that's fucked up.
Mhm.
We're gonna go ride on this motherfucker. We're gonna go find
Go
the person
get him.
who
You
did
better
it.
get that motherfucker.
But see, it's a
You better
difference.
get him.
But then it's also how close you are to a person.
Yeah. Right.
You know
right.
what I mean? So just like you have siblings,
Yep.
there might be one sibling that they go before you might be more affected than a different sibling. You're still gonna be sad because a sibling's gone.
Right, but
But-
there's different effects. from
Right.
different
You might
people,
miss a certain brother over a different brother. You know what I mean? So it all depends on how close you are to a person. I know for a fact my oldest daughter was close to her grandmother. Super ridiculously close to her grandmother.
Right. And Lori said, I understand completely. I had this in reverse. My mom died, and it was just me and my dad for a long time. And I'm sorry, guys, that we had to get so heavy But
I
I
No,
did
we're
not
gonna end
think
it on a high note.
we're going to
We are.
definitely. We're
No,
definitely
'cause
hanging.
I
We're
ain't
going
going
to
home with this
We
shit.
always have to bring it. We always have to bring it back up.
And
I'm
glad-
gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight. If I go home this, I'm
And
gonna
I
sleep
am
on-
glad that we chose to do the other thing.
Yeah, I felt like
After.
there was so much. I didn't know we were going to get this deep.
I thought the first topic was a little heavy, but
I didn't think we were going to go like
I
this,
was
man.
wrong.
This went way deeper. Yeah, definitely.
No,
There
no,
was-
I'm not gonna eat it. I want to take a picture of it because it looks like something I want to buy.
A legit, dude.
Hit me up
It's
for
legit,
one when
dude.
you're done. But
I
yeah.
love how Jimmy's all in with the meat now. All in, baby.
It's
Bro,
so
That's good,
convenient.
and you can put it in a wrap, dude. You cut it up, put it in a wrap, and you're good to
Real
go.
quick on the topic of meat, I had been, I guess someone I still am, debating going the vegetarian route. But the second Jimmy was like, that night he was like, I want these crab cakes, I really wanted. I was like, I'm not saying shit to jeopardize it. Because I wanted Jimmy to have that meat in his mouth so fucking long.
Time out.
So I wasn't going to jeopardize it. I still do be thinking like,
But-
vegetables are good as shit.
But
I
why
don't
did you want
need-
that? Why can't you support your friend being a
You don't
vegetarian for
support-
ethical reasons?
You don't support my
For
desire.
ethical,
You don't
now you're
support-
like for ethical reasons, not
You
health. I don't give a
support
shit
my
about my
desire
health.
to not put certain things in my body for ethical reasons.
But you don't not drink for ethical reasons. You drink. First of all, you
I drink
Second of all,
because
it's not like
those hops have families to support,
Oh God.
and we just harvest them up and brew them.
We give jobs to the people that are harvesting and brewing the beer.
But
Yeah,
you
not
know,
to try to switch.
I wanted you to eat meat. Whenever you got on
Why?
the fence, I did not say shit because I eat meat,
selfish.
and I want. Hey, human beings are selfish.
So you're admitting.
I've
So
never,
next time I bring that up, you're gonna be like, motherfucker, I'm not good.
I've never denied that selfishness.
So, but yeah, no, Ron, I was because I know we're gonna get into something else here too. Not trying to, but
I got to pee too.
but no, I was gonna say I was looking at that and I was like, it's already cooked. You just heat it up, right? You probably could cook it some more if you wanted to.
If you
but,
wanted to, yeah.
but
it's-
it looks dumb convenient, and
That's
I was
what-
like, and it looks really good.
It's
So I was
really
like, I got to
good.
remember. You got that at Sam's Club, right?
Yep, Sam's Club. Very tender.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get me some of that. Yeah.
Sins. Well, no, I just wanted you to eat meat, man. I felt like you were missing out. I felt like your reasons were dumb because
What?
because animals are going to die, whether you eat them or not.
Yeah, but I
Human
wouldn't
beings
say
are
it's
going
dumb though. I wouldn't
Harvest
say.
and slaughter animals.
Yes, of course that's always going to happen.
So
I
you
did it.
saying I don't want to eat meat because they have feelings?
No,
and-
no, no, no. You're taking it too far. I did not want to have an animal killed on my behalf. Like to say, like, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy this meat. I'm going to go to this restaurant. I'm going to buy this meat. I'm supporting whatever companies they came from or whatever the process was or whatever the case may be. I was like, you know what? I've seen how all this shit goes down. I've seen how the cookie's made, so to speak. And it was like, I don't want to contribute to that. My one small little self, I don't want to contribute
but
to that.
No place is that fresh that you walk in and say, "Hey, I'd like a double bacon cheeseburger," and they go in the back and kill that.
Yeah,
cow
no,
and that
but
pig
that's
right
not the
there.
point,
So
though,
I'm
because
saying
that
nobody
company
is-
still pays to have that meat for
But I'm
them.
saying they're going to do that regardless. So it's not like they're killing it for you.
I understand that, but the more money they get, the more they're going to be able to do it. And while, yes, Burger King will always be able to get meat for themselves, whether Jimmy eats there or not, I understand that point. But I did it because for me, for my life, me living, me waking up and doing my thing every day and going to sleep, waking up, doing it again, I didn't want to support that. I didn't want to be the one to be like, you know what, I need this meat in my body. I need animals. I need meat. So I just chose not to eat it for almost 4 years.
All
So
right,
what if,
all right.
hold up, what if a place was so fresh that you ordered a cheeseburger and then
And I heard the bitch in the back.
and then you went out and you heard the cow go, "Murr." And you're like, God, but like they did that for. What if humans were that damn?
But then you
wasteful?
saw people eating it, and they were just like mouth orgasm. Oh, this is the
I don't know
best
if
meat
I'd eat at that
ever.
restaurant. I don't know if
This
I
is
can
the
handle
best
that.
meat ever,
Why, it's
Jimmy.
fresh.
You got
I
it.
don't
It's
know.
Chaps, Jimmy. You got to come to Chaps,
Hey,
Jimmy.
bro, I've been fiending for Chaps. I wanted to go to Chaps today, dog.
All right, so we're not really talking about
I could
vegetarians.
eat there every day.
We got. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Are we ready? We're gonna lighten up the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
So everyone remembers coronavirus, right? Y'all remember coronavirus? It was this
what's-
thing that happened in 2020.
Is the thing that's how
I
people
think
trying
it's
to
still
get an
happening.
election?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. It's like circumventing, election processes.
November
and
4th,
pushing
this
back.
won't be a topic.
You're basically saying
Won't be.
whoever becomes president, they're going to find a cure, right?
Yeah.
Right, they have to, right?
November 4th.
Apparently,
everybody.
they're working on a vaccine.
Everything goes back November 4th.
I love
Clarify.
that.
Clarify.
2021 is going to be great.
It'll be January if Biden becomes president.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
Because
right,
he's got to
right.
wait until he's actually in there. But if it's Trump, November 5th. He's like, I got that cure.
I got it.
Either
So,
way, 2021 is going to be a better year.
so
It's
yeah.
gotta be.
So now we're gonna go back on to and we're gonna finish up light. We're not gonna go too much longer, guys. So we appreciate you guys sticking with us. Man dresses up as the Grim Reaper to warn Florida beachgoers about the coronavirus.
And I would say, hold up. I would say, Ron, hey, click that link. But literally, the link is just that. There's no story. It's not
Yes,
like
no,
it's
right.
not like we interviewed Deshaun Morris and it's just reiteration of the fucking title.
Of the title, right?
And I think that's awesome. It's a dude on a beach in a Grim Reaper suit, and he's basically telling motherfuckers, hey, why y'all out here? You about to get that virus.
Jeez,
I would want
the chat's going ridiculous about Jimmy's lights, and Jimmy's light's better now. Look at it. You haven't complained about the light all night. He looks great.
Oh,
maybe
no.
it's because you tan.
No, they
You
said-
tan,
no,
dude.
I
I see that red
I
face.
did tan.
She
You
said we
lied.
want Twilight characters back, so he needs to look like Edward fucking
I
Cullen.
gotta put the light back
Make
on
this
you, baby.
I appreciate you
You
guys
gotta
commenting
lose
on
this,
my
bro.
light. Okay,
You gotta be
Lighting
the
is
color
key,
of this
everyone,
Michelob
and I
Ultra
appreciate
fucking baby.
that. I know that my lighting is very important to this show, and I appreciate it.
It's one of the most important
things.
things that we have to have, obviously, if people are commenting about it. But coronavirus, a man, and let me play this little video for you real quick so that we can get a good idea of what's going on with it.
Tourism season, Walton County beaches are back open.
Walton County, that's my hometown. Defuniak, Walton County,
After
Defuniak
weeks of
Springs.
being
This is
shut
where
in
I'm
at
from,
home,
guys.
hundreds
know
of
the
people
guy.
This is
from
why I
near
wanted to
and
do this,
far
'cause this is
are
from where I'm
flocking
from.
to Walton County beaches to feel the
Probably
sand in their
Walton.
toes
Is it
and
Panama
the
City?
salt water on their
Or is
skin.
it Destin?
I love the beaches being open. I've been in self-isolation for 2 months.
Yeah.
This
Haven't
is
we
just
all?
wonderful.
But one
Ooh.
local lawyer says
Try going to
not
the
so
gulags.
fast.
We are dealing with a deadly virus. I think it's too soon to draw thousands of millions of people to our beaches.
Daniel Olfelder is an outspoken Florida Beaches
No
for
shit.
All advocate.
No
But
shit.
he says when it comes to the coronavirus, the beaches should remain closed.
Now,
But
if
the
you guys
message is that
see this,
I love
if
our
you
beaches. I know
let's
how-
be honest. Just hold on real quick. If you guys see this guy
I'm
walking at the
throwing
beach,
something at him.
are you gonna throw?
I'm gonna throw like a rock or a sand cup thing they build castles with. That guy's
Well, you'll put a rock
fucking-
in the cup, right?
No, I'm not
Just
gonna
make
like
sure he gets-
stone him to death.
Oh, you
I'm
should
just-
stone him to death.
We're
I'm
just
gonna stone him.
We're just gonna batter a man minding. Well,
This
he's
guy,
not
he's
minding
not
his
minding
his own business.
He's not.
not
He's
hurting
minding
He's trying to
everyone's.
get in everyone else's fucking
He's
business.
minding
He's a
everyone's-
fucking turns guy's
Well,
an idiot.
But he is.
He's
he is
buying
not
too
bothering.
much into it.
You have to look at him and then, like, I mean, he could say that's like a religious thing if
Hook,
you
line,
want.
and sinker. Like he's bought all into it.
He has
All
bought
his
all
Don't
shit
into
call it
already.
religious because then I'm gonna shit on the dude. I just think he wants people to be safe, man.
Yeah.
How important it is to come to our beaches, and that it's such a draw to our community that people will come from all over. And I want us to be able to get back to using our beaches permanently as soon as possible. And if we do this too quickly, we won't get there.
While he was walking all the beaches today, visitors were unfazed
John
as they
Church is
tried
not
to
even-
maintain social
I don't think
distancing
anyone
while
was phased.
enjoying the
I don't
Gulf.
think anyone was phased.
We're down here from Alabama and couldn't be happier that they opened today.
Couldn't give a shit
Walton
about
County
that guy
commissioners
dressed
say
up
it's important that
as
people
a Reaper.
continue to social distance so they don't have to
Well, I
go
wanna
back
say
and close the beaches
The
again.
people who do things to try to make the world better are often looked at as
That's
pariahs
that crazy. Yeah.
and crazies, but they're not always wrong.
No, well, it was just that,
I
it was
do
just that
think
little
that
video.
the coronavirus is a thing.
Earn cash back with
Cut
And-
those commercials off real quick.
I do think that, he's just, like he said, if it is real, if.
I'm not debating there's not
The quicker-
I'm not debating there's
Listen,
a virus.
the
There's,
quicker we
like,
stay in our houses until November 4th, the quicker it goes away after November 4th.
But it was supposed to be 15 days originally.
Yeah.
November
But
4th.
come on now. We didn't necessarily know. Like, I remember when it started and schools were let out and stuff like that. I was still in supermarkets working without a mask for a few
right.
weeks, and then eventually they were like, "You should." I don't even know if I waited for the mandate. I think my mother was like, "Well, you should wear a mask, or you should wear gloves." And I started wearing a mask and gloves. Excuse me, and I realized gloves are stupid because they're just transferring whatever. Because I'm still touching everything.
Yeah.
But I was wearing a mask. But I do remember not doing it. You know what I mean?
It's just I do think there's an actual virus, but I think the media and I think everything that's it's blown up on this has made it to where it's like we're out there wearing fucking masks and gloves and bio fucking suits, and it's too much. You don't need to do all that. The fucking flu's out there too. You don't see everybody fucking dressing up for that. It's all fucking.
Is it the left wing or the right wing? Man?
I don't know who the fuck it is. The bottom wing,
is
the
it
top
CNN
wing. I
or
don't
Fox,
fucking know.
bro?
Right.
It's just these fucking idiots are out here fucking, oh God, everybody be scared. Everybody do this. It's like, dude, I don't buy into it. Yes, I will wear a mask. We've already had this conversation. I'll wear a mask because I'm supposed to wear a mask when I go into a building because I don't want to be that asshole that draws all this attention and is getting kicked out of stores or making people uncomfortable. So I'll put a fucking mask on.
Right.
I don't give a shit. But I do think that this is just blown way out of the fucking, God damn it, I can't do it. Some people just can't see through to the other fucking side.
But hold up. I love that argument. And this is for another podcast. I do love the people that think the other side or the sheeps or blind, or you know what I mean? We're going to have a good conversation.
I posted a quote the other day, and it was talking about. Hold on, let me try to get this thing off. I posted a quote the other day, and it was basically talking about how people aren't like they do not want to hear facts and everything else. They want to hear their illusions. They want to hear delusions. They want to hear their opinions. And if you go opposite of that. Fuck you.
And that's a very human thing.
We will kill. Yeah.
And we will talk about it. But yes, people want to
Right.
hear their opinions come out of your mouth.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how many facts you give them, how many resources, how many, accredited places back something opposing.
Right.
They're going to think you're dumb. And that is human beings. That's just how we're made. And I don't know if that'll ever go away. And it's foolish because for you to feel like only your opinion is right and you only want to hear from others, that's the only thing you want to hear from other people. How fucking prideful are you?
Right.
In that regard, to say that, to not be able to say that
hubris.
you're right, to not be able to say that you're wrong, because I know, as intelligent as I am, and I make fun of Jimmy for dumb shit, but he's not a dumb person. He has his own level of intelligence.
Right.
None of us are right 100% of the time. Like I still owe Jimmy $50 from a bet we made at Niagara Falls when I thought. The mist from the waterfall was from a fucking barbecue place, and it was the mist from the waterfall. You never get that fucking $50. But I never forget. Hollywood never forgets his debt.
I don't remember that bet.
And while Nosta Lannister, who always pays his debt, I at least did not forget.
No. I don't. First of all, I don't remember the bet. And second of all, you really thought mist from a waterfall was a barbecue place?
Well, from the perspective we were walking,
I don't remember.
Well, see, how are you going to question me then?
But I'm just saying that's a lot of mist.
But in the comments, it says, Lori Kane Moore says, I agree with Jimmy talking about the coronavirus being a fucking myth. And that's
I never said it was a fucking myth.
But that's not the banger.
Yeah.
The banger is, I may never say this again, so mark this moment. Jimmy, I agree completely with you. And then Rick Morris, I'm assuming they're related since they have the. Oh no, that second comment wasn't from. See, Lori and Laura, I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
But Laura said, they mark this moment. But then Rick Morris said Jimmy for president, and then Laura said Ron as VP. So mark these moments on your fucking calendar.
But let me tell you,
everybody get shredded.
Bob's been campaigning for the past 5 years since we've had SVR.
It's okay. It's okay. Now I know that I don't need a campaign. I don't need fucking poll booths. I just need a fucking army.
You just
and when we roll up, remember, Old Coliseum's first. And whoever meets that criteria is going to go to that Coliseum. Period. But you can be president. You can be president. You can be vice president. Because it's called a coup d'etat, bitches.
Yep.
And I'm going to come rolling through the streets with my tank.
The thing is, it's all a fucking work anyway. So me and Ron will do our 4. We may do, and actually we'll do 4, and then we'll switch.
Yeah, switch.
And then I'll be vice, you'll be, and then
or y'all can let
we'll
me
just get you in there afterwards.
Or
and then
y'all can be,
Rick will be vice president.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Oh.
Rick's like, Bob,
You
I
can be
think
president.
today we need to pass
Ron
this.
can be vice president. Then I'm like third in line, whatever position that is. And then you mysteriously get fucking exiled to fucking.
No, 'cause I don't wanna be gone
Where you gonna
forever.
get exiled to?
Japan.
Somewhere in Southeast Asia
Japan.
or Japan.
Japan.
And then Ron's like, you know what? This is just too much stress. I just want to lift weights and wrestle and do podcasts. And then I'm the president, and the American people never have a fucking say in it. And then that I open up that old Coliseum that day. And then life is changed.
So I'm only in Japan, but Ron is still lifting weights and wrestling.
Because you can always say, I don't want to do it.
That's what I like doing.
You can say, I don't want to be. Fucking Trump could say,
So
I don't want to be fucking president no
I'm going to
more.
be in Japan lifting weights.
Or, I don't know if humans
and
count as weights.
doing some other what?
I was about to say, I don't know if humans count as weights. But as you were saying, doing some other shit.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
Ron's
Being
going to
happy.
be here doing the same thing. And he's just going to be like, I don't want to be president.
I don't want to do that.
He's
though.
going to be
Yeah,
lifting
I like what I'm
weights.
doing.
Ron's going to be like, I
doing
wanted to be vice
podcasts.
president. I signed up for vice president.
Yep.
I don't want to be fucking president.
Nope.
Peace.
Too much.
And
Too
then I'm
much
going to be
work.
in that bitch like, I'll do it. I'll hold America down.
I just want to be like Pence now and just be like, what do you ask me a question?
And let's just say it this way.
Yeah,
You'll be
everything's
glad.
good. President's doing a good job.
You'll be glad that you're in Japan. That's all I'm saying.
You will be. I think we all will be.
Well,
But anyway, at least we lightened it up and we brightened up everyone's world after freaking everybody down.
Everybody bringing everybody down.
But
man,
you know,
right,
that's the
thinking
thing about
shit.
SVR though. Like we don't have. It is what it is, man. Like this is a real conversation between real friends, and now we have our real friends commenting with us, and we'll go through. Yeah, exiled to Area 51. I'll go there. Exile me to Area 51. Napoleon me, please. Napoleon me.
I'll take person.
And then Bob's press secretary. Bob would be a great press. I would love to see Bob handling the press. You would turn against them so fucking fast.
You
Oh
know
my
This country
God!
would burn.
You know how quick.
This country would.
Would they be
burn.
going to the gulags?
No, I'm just gonna give real mango answers. They're gonna be like, well, what about the buildings that mysteriously blew up? We blew it up, and I'll blow this whole motherfucking meeting up.
This whole meeting.
I'm like, watch this.
While I'm here,
President Lewis, do it. And he's gonna be like, but you're there right now. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Blow it up.
You imagine how many nervous people be out there like, is he serious?
He's going to do it.
Shit,
He's going to do
we
it
need to get out.
until.
Are you gonna hear? And then you're like, oh shit, he did it.
You're gonna have like one of those like specialized like bomb suits.
I'm gonna pull my fucking
you're
Iron
not
Man
gonna-
suit up. I'll be like, I'm like, peace, bitches, and they gonna blow the fuck. And at the next press meeting, I'll be like, who got a dumb question? We can do this right
I love
now.
it. And the last comment is, my vote is for Bob. The
'Cause the goal-
B-O-B.
Because the goal with the government shit from earlier, they got Iron Man suits. There's Iron Man suits out there.
They got them Iron Man suits.
Damn straight is Iron Man suits.
All right, well, that's 2 hours in. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been Spitting Venom Radio, episode 54. Coronavirus kills you. Dreams got real heavy tonight. That's going to be a fun clip to edit, I'll tell you that much. And anybody got anything they say before we roll?
Nah. Just follow me on Instagram at Melodramatic Plastic. And also Facebook, Melodramatic Plastic. Holla at your boy.
In-Game Jourdain at Instagram, Paul Jourdain on Facebook. Paul Jourdain on Twitch. I'm on Twitch too, but you're getting all these streams. I'm not playing video games. There's probably a game out there somewhere that I could play.
We'll play a game. We're going to give you guys different content.
Different
So
content.
we're going to take advantage of the different revenue. Well, not revenue. If you guys want to give us revenue, but
We'll
the
take
different avenues to produce content. So we'll play video games.
My shit's
Definitely.
different now because my Instagram handle was just
All right, you can cut it.
Sindred. But because then some other people who didn't realize the transition in names was like didn't know it was me until they clicked on my profile. So anyways, long story short, I'm at Instagram at Jimmy_Sindred, SINNDRED.
And that's the best place to follow him.
But yeah, just don't hit me up on Facebook, please.
Unless you